This is going to be fun. So playing a freeze out. That's way too loud. Last night I know sound was not ideal for you guys. Playing a freeze out, which means we're not rebuying, we're not adding on, not topping out.
Against Phil, he folded. What was that?
2 freeze outs. I guess I'll be opening to 2.5. Phil and I agreed not to watch each other's streams, so both will see the crazy stuff each other are doing.
He will win a higher percentage of pots than me,
including a limp. I'm gonna check this one. Queen 8's not. I mean, it's probably ahead of his limping range, but it's not the kind of hand I want to build a pot with. I'd rather kind of be a little more polar, have some bluffs and some stronger value that I want to build the pot with. It's been a while since I've, played No Limit Hold'em very seriously, but this should be interesting. He's 3-betting early. I'm actually gonna call. He's 3-betting kind of small, and his hand is not a clear call in theory, I believe, but I don't know. Position, he kept it pretty small, and just hoping to make something happen, like flop bottom pair. Easy call on the flop, nothing else to do. Interesting turn. I was not expecting to see him bet this turn, and I think he's probably, well, it's a weird one. This is a weird one. I was not expecting. I think with the ace, like ace is such a valuable out where he's going to continue with his bluffs on the ace. I kind of have a feeling he has like 6-7 and is going to call me. Oh man. I think I'm supposed to bluff, but I think I've taken too long. All right, let's see if he gave up on a bluff. No, pocket ace makes sense. Similar,
was probably calling it all
6-7. Would that have folded? I don't know. Hellmuth is the type to make reads, but we're off to a bad start. Yeah, as Moonlight says, I'm hoping for some good action, lots of reads, and unorthodox play, which is, I think, what you're going to see as I started off with a couple of bad plays. I'm fine with pre-flop and flop. I think the turn call is pretty iffy. I think the river check is probably bad.
That's the kind of card that could end it.
And here, I don't think I need to. I mean, if he doesn't have a pair, I'm probably going to. Well, if he doesn't have a pair, I'm definitely at least chopping. Fine with folding this one. Happy Sunday, David. So I do have to be conscious about getting short stacked. I'm used to deep stack play. I'm used to 100 big blind play or deeper. And so in the event, I mean, we're already shorter than that, obviously. But as we get a little bit shorter, kind of some of the plays that I would normally make are not going to work out too well.
Cheesecake Factory, yay. You can put it here.
All right, bad start. But here we go.
I'll take it.
Okay, how big do we want to go?
Phil and I have agreed to not watch the stream.
250 seems good.
Here, so I said not to ooh and ah or anything, so it's only fair. Big raise there.
I mean, I'm going to be raising most of my buttons, maybe not all. Here, I'm going to fold to this 3-bet with 9-6 offsuit. Yeah, it's weird. The thumbnail, Moonlight, I don't know if you could change the thumbnail. The thumbnail was, I just took one of the, oh, I know what I did. It's one of the ads that are rotating on the bottom, and I think it has some transparency, and so it showed up badly. So Moonlight, maybe you could take a screenshot of what's going on here and like a screenshot of the table with both of our avatars, and that would be a much better, thumbnail. That's the word. We can fold 10-5. Show him we're going to fold something He had 9-4, okay. Got shot on the turn, decided not to bluff. Mental note. We'll check 6-7. Flop middle pair. I'm not going to do... Am I going to do any leading out of position? I don't know. Call one with second pair. Now we got 2 pair. Check, check. Let's go for an overbet, I think. Yeah. White magic.
It's the kind of hand he could turn a 3 into a bluff.
Let's see if we can chip my way back up. Fold. Drew, hey. I'm excited to play this. I'm glad you're excited to watch. Yeah, that missed bluff with the ace
Feels
three.
to me I should have an endorsement deal with where do we get these?
There's definitely
Cheesecake Factory chicken tacos should be an endorsement deal with them.
a type of leak that is, you know,
and certainly Sour Patch Kids.
whether it's the first hand or the first 10 minutes of a session, just where you show up and you're not in the zone yet. And I think it happens to me sometimes. It happens to me more in a case like this where I'm not really
We check the flop
here
because
to,
we can't handle
or
check.
rather I'm not like
Now we're
preparing to play poker. I'm preparing to stream. So leading up to this, I had my family here, some friends. I was setting up to stream, and then we just kind of, you know, send out the tweets that we're going live and focus on that. And so I am blaming that for not being ready enough the first hand, but I mean, it's my fault, certainly. And I just wanted to share that that's something that people deal with a lot. Okay, hit a 4. Good 4 at that. Chat on the screen's not changing. Thank you for calling that out. It's hooked up to the wrong... I'm gonna check this back. It's hooked up to the wrong URL. It's last night's chat URL. Chat. I'm gonna go ahead and bet the ace. It's a little bit thin, but I'm gonna bet it again. I mean, it's not really supposed to be thin, but I don't know. I think Phil likes to trap a little bit, and especially like on a turned ace. I'll just go 2/3, 2/3. Yeah, there's the chat. Table sounds again? Oh yeah, they're on again. I don't know why that would come back on after I turned it off yesterday. Thank you. But here we are. Okay. Things are fixed. Oh, I didn't get to see what he showed down there. When I had ace 6, he had 10-8. He's doing a fair bit of limping. I don't really want to discourage it, to be honest. I don't mind having a little bit of playing some smaller pots, play a little bit of small ball. Open ender, I go for the check raise.
Okay, check raise the flop. Okay.
We'll go for the c-bet here. This is a decent hand to barrel with. I mean, more than decent. It's a good hand to barrel with. This seems like a good one to raise. Like, it's not that bad of a hand. It can make some, like, maybe some, like, Queen 7 offsuit hands fold. I don't know. I'm kind of just making stuff up, though. It's mill and hold 'em. I don't know what I'm doing. Hellmuth is pretty good at heads up sit and go. Says cool drummer. He's very good at heads up sit and go. His results in high stakes duel have been really impressive, and fortunately for me, I've watched at least half of those matches. I wish I could remember a little bit more than I do, but go for 2/3 pot here. Okay. What are the rules? Asked Kuijong. Sorry if I mispronounced that. We are playing
Very
two
comfortable.
heads up
These heads
freeze
up
outs.
matches, I
So
never
we buy
mind
in for 100 big
winning more
blinds.
hands than me.
Neither of us can rebuy.
Never
We're out on
mind.
chips. And so it's,
As long
whoever
as they makes the mistakes.
runs out of chips first loses that match, and then we play another 5K freeze out, 100 big blinds. I think this is a pretty good opportunity to go for a bluff. I have 5 high. He's probably got better than 5 high, but he's probably not got a super, probably doesn't have a super strong hand, given the way it's played out. All right, we've almost clawed our way back after our terrible start. I'm going to check this back. He's not going to fold any better hands, and he's not going to call any worse hands, so let's just keep in the dominated stuff. I play the board. Do I want to bluff him off of a chop? No, I'll let him get half the pot. I feel like
And he's playing conservative like me. Check
I don't know. I
back.
didn't
He
think he was
knows I'm
trapping, but I thought he
dangerous.
was reasonably likely to just have an ace. Maybe I'm just wrong there. And he's never folded an ace in that
You
spot.
have the advantage because his laptop's on the frying pan right now.
And best case, I'm making him fold half the pot, so it's not, or rather, I'm going to get half the pot when I check if he was going to fold. That's what I'm trying to say. And so I'm bluffing to try to win half the pot. It's not quite as valuable. Let's be a little tighter than I want to be. I want to be doing a lot. He's limping every button at this point. So
I
at
raced the
start,
first hand of the match.
you know what? Maybe he's done it the whole
Set me
time. I
first,
think
I'm
he,
gonna raise
no,
the
he min
button.
raised the
Of course I
button
don't.
at the start. I remember. Check call with the gut shot and ace high. It's Brian Battistone's birthday today. Happy birthday.
Shame we had top 2.
I hope you're not celebrating by watching my stream.
I almost just want to fold this hand, but
And I mean, I know Brian Battistone, unless there are 2 Brian Battistones that play poker. All right, so he defends, he donks flop. This is interesting. I'm gonna call, and let's take it from there. So I'm actually gonna make a crazy play and put him on like 3-5 or something, and 3-5 or a worse 4, and bet the turn, and then check the river. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. It's Razy Daisy, obviously. Yes, BetRivers Poker, only available in Pennsylvania for now, as this flop is one that's going to favor. Well, I mean, it's going to favor my raising range compared to his limping range, but his limping range is kind of everything, so I need to be a little cautious. Here, do I want to go bet? It's kind of interesting. I think I'll just check and go for a value bet on the river. Do I want a pot? I think I want a pot. Yeah.
doesn't it feel like a very lucky hand to me? I trapped him.
Okay.
Oh, the long game takes so long. Oh, I'm with ace 10.
Table sound, turn it down even more. I
Eight
don't think you should
suited
hear
and
it
all
too
these
loudly at this
hands
point.
are
Maybe I can
gonna
get the
be
mic closer to my face. But also, you might not have caught up to the delay to the point where I turned it down. Hey, 400 of you here. That's a good start to the stream compared to last night. I guess when you're playing a legend and playing higher stakes, people want to see it. I appreciate you being here, truly. Feel free to ask me questions. I'm used to multi-tabling online, and actually we'll start to get kind of bored. Just one tabling heads up.
You would think that Phil knows with ace tens and ace eight suited. He watched me play an entire match. He did the commentary.
I'm gonna go for the raise.
It took 7 hours. He's trying to win every hand.
Yes, okay. Agent Zero says good luck. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hamburglar Helper says Hold'em. LMAO, brutal. It was interesting because Phil and I didn't set this up. BetRivers Poker set this up and talked to each of us. And then I texted Phil today and asked about it because I thought we were playing Hold'em and he thought we were playing one of each. One hold, like half Hold'em, half PLO. And I actually suggested we do only Hold'em. He was ready and willing to play both. But, truth be told, we both want to help BetRivers Poker succeed. We both believe in it. And more eyes are going to be on this. More eyes are going to be on the clips of potentially exciting pots if we ever play a pot over 1K, if it's Hold'em. And so I was just like, let's play Hold'em. And actually, he was still like, I don't mind playing both, but I convinced him. So my apologies. It's my fault that it's not PLO. I'm going to check, and he's going to check, and I don't know who's going to win. Okay. Had no pair, no draw, no blocker. So worth noting, he did fire the C bet.
He's smart not to raise every hand.
But if he barreled turn with a hand like that, that would have been very notable. I'm still, attempting to get a read. Here he goes with min raise. It's just such a good price, and I have something. Apologies. When I'm checking my phone, I'm not being rude. That's how we're communicating. So, if anything, when I get a message, I look at it. Ham poker. Does that mean you're Brian? Yeah. Oh no, I can't tell. I can't tell from the avatar. Hellmuth is not Bob. Bob is an inside joke. Sorry to everybody who's not in BTG. A7 suited. Let's raise. Why does he keep limping his small blind? Says go for go. This is like I've watched him play high stakes duels several times. It's what he likes to do. He's comfortable playing like a. I don't even want to say small ball because sometimes he does stuff like this. But he's comfortable playing smaller pots. Against the limp re-raise, I think I call and we take it from there. Not my flop. Andre Cruz. He's loving the software. Thank you. I love it too. I didn't literally design it, and that I'm not the designer, but I worked with the designers very, very, very closely to get it not only to look the way it looks, but to feel the way it feels, as that's important to me. I feel like he was bluffing pre-flop, but he's going to win it now. Nice hand.
It's a shame.
Poker Night America, good to see you. Thanks for the good luck wishes. I'll have to run this back on Poker Night America. Giovanni, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. Queen Jack, you don't have to bet Queen Jack high, but I like betting most nut flush draws. It just works out well. And now I'll check it back and let's see what happens. So the table dings are still bugging you guys. That's crazy. It's so quiet. But I play the board again. No, I think he has better than the board. Yeah.
Man, in my mind, I had him on the Queen of Hearts, like Queen 4. Let's see. He had the Queen of Hearts. Queen Jack. That's why he didn't have to bluff
Okay,
it.
A7, we'll check.
He played that one well, though. He didn't get himself overextended. He played that one well.
If he wants to play small ball, we can play small ball.
Not folding a 6 on the turn.
2 nitty fills. Now we'll have some interesting pots for sure. Oh, let's start with a bet. Backdoor straight draw. Kind of want to go bet check bet. Do I? What am I trying to make him fold? So the problem is Phil, like, well, actually, no, that's normal. I was going to say, like, he's just, like, loves checking a jack here, but checking a jack is pretty normal. It's not that weird. I don't know. I'm just going to show it down and almost definitely lose, but I just don't feel like he's folding a jack or an ace. Obviously not a 10, so I need him to have, like, 4s or king high, which sometimes he'll have, but I think not enough.
Let's see what he had that time. Queen deuce, queen high, so he didn't have to bluff.
Aniket, I do not play chess.
I'm gonna limp in. I have to bet.
Cool drummer, thank you for the good luck wishes.
Because I could be limping.
Thank you all for being here. If you're new to my stream, not that I stream that often, but if you're new to me, ask questions. I like answering questions while I play.
This is a great thing about Heads Up. Look at these numbers. Phil's a great player. I'm playing 87%, raising.
I keep getting tempted to raise these.
He's playing 56%, raising 51.
Kind of just like
completely different styles.
If we were playing a cash game with
for us for years
rebuys, then I'd be raising a lot more aggressively out of the big blind. But I'm kind of just content to play smaller pots, given that we're playing 2 matches, and I'd like to play turns and rivers. That's what I love to do. And actually, I mean, Hellmuth does too, but because his style, I think, includes a lot of limp re-raising, I don't know. I don't want the pots to get too crazy big. I want early streets. Moonlight says, let's just have this more often, then also play some PLO. Nicholas, no, Phil and I agreed not to watch each other's streams, so he's not watching mine, I'm not watching his. I think that's best. I don't think the informational edge matters, but it makes for a less entertaining stream if I'm not talking to you because I'm staring at what he's doing and I'm distracted by that. So I'd rather make this fun for the viewer.
I was calling the turn.
Bogdan compliments the hand history interface. Thank you very much. Nice and easy. I like how quickly it comes up and you don't have to bring it up in a new window.
Feels steady. Like some people might start to tilt.
All right, he's taking it down with a lot of limp and c-bet. EKW, yes. It is effectively a 5K heads up freeze out. That's what you were answering, not asking. Thank you, by the way.
Limp call, check, check call, check call, check call.
Juggernaut asks, does heads up come naturally to you now? Which game format now requires the most brain power for you nowadays? Heads up does come, like, I feel good in any kind of PLO game, although best in heads up. When I play a game that is not PLO, whatever it is, heads up is easiest for me because it's less about playing the right ranges and more about reading the player, and that's what I prefer to do. And my I don't study No Limit Hold'em, so my fundamentals aren't what they would be. Let's take a look. Nice hand. Manuel asks, how do you recommend studying poker for a low stakes player? It's a great question. It really depends on you, and it depends on your goals too. Are you just looking to
I had ace but I also had a 7.
do okay in your low stakes game? Are you looking to become a professional down the line? Do you want to be playing online against tougher competition? And also, it depends kind of where you are right now. So I'm going to start with a turn call. And we'll go from there. I don't feel great about my chances. Nice hand, Phil. But anyway, yeah, I'm not exactly, I can't answer that very effectively because I don't know enough about you. Kuijong, great question, asking about the facial expression. So these are called dynamic avatars, and the player's expressions adjust based on how the player is playing pre-flop. So the more loose and aggressive you are, the crazier your face gets. Since we're playing heads up and the numbers are calibrated, these are usually 6-max tables, it looks like we're both playing crazy.
That's a shame.
So we're both screaming, as we are both known to do. Feaster asks if I have any thoughts on if we'll get more legal poker states in the US in the near future. Really wish I could play on this site. I really wish you could too. You know, I don't have a great guess at this point.
Knocking out a door, sounds like.
I thought, if you had asked me a few years ago, I would have said I thought that more was coming than has so far. So I would have been wrong.
Hey, what's up, Peter? Peter, how are you, Peter?
Okay, good. That's good.
Battling Phil
Let's go for a
Galfond
bet
here.
check
Let's
bet.
see what he's can do on the river here. 276.
You can feel it, Lee.
Yeah. 70% of the time, Phil is going to win.
I was going to say, it feels like a raise or a fold.
Together,
Didn't feel like a call. I mean, I'm 8 high, so I'm going to fold. Moonlight Masters, Phil, I don't believe you can play small ball. You're playing one table, you're going to bluff it off eventually. Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, I was worried about aces and sixes, but we
David
probably
Mendez,
would have heard of it by then.
we don't have straddles or bomb pots. I
Aces
don't
and
think they're on the immediate near term. I don't think there's a plan for them yet. The yeah, I'll leave it at that. Because actually, it's been a few months since I was kind of familiar with
We are
what's
betting our
coming
money.
up in the near future. So I don't know. I don't want to guess.
Okay.
So I could either start blasting off or start checking. I think either are reasonable. I guess I'm gonna check and go for the bet on the river. I mean, he shouldn't be betting with a queen. So yes, I beat, like, he's kind of representing a king, but he's sometimes going to have an ace and he's sometimes going to be trapping me. So I'm just going to call.
Sometimes he has 9 high. It faults.
Sometimes going to be bluffing as well.
Okay. I almost just checked there and gave up.
Axel asking why I'm not playing the high stakes live games so often. They don't exist. High stakes live games have gone private for the most part. So yeah, near me there's not. I don't have high stakes live game playing. Paul, thank you for the kind words. I'll check. Anthony, yes, Phil has a stream going too. I think Moonlight Master linked it and pinned it here in the chat. Ooh, got there.
Good check, Phil. Let's see what we had that hand. King high. Good check. Good check.
I will go for the raise with King Queen. Otis says, hi Phil, always happy to see you streaming. In your opinion, do you think it's possible to run a bankroll of $100 up to 20K online in 6 months these
Only
days,
have
given the
ace high,
proper
I also
amount of
have a
skill.
straight.
Given the proper amount of skill, yeah, definitely. For most people who
These numbers are so
who
funny.
only have a
84,
bankroll of
13.
$100,
The
they don't
56,
have the
53 is
requisite
so
amount of
opposite.
skill often. So for them, it might not be as easy, but I think I should maybe be raising more of these. I'm kind of being nitty. But yes, if you have the requisite skill, I think it's definitely doable in 6 months. Queen X makes some
You should
sense.
pull me off Jack high here.
I don't know, I kind of feel like he has it, but I have 3-1, and let's just find out. Yeah, okay. What do I think about making the switch from
Ace
folding to
high,
PLO?
okay,
Holding
a
some
little
main
tricky
source of
there.
income for the past year, been playing more PLO recently. This is another, like, it really depends. It really depends. If you are... So I think the biggest thing is what games you have access to, both at the level that you are playing and the levels, above and below that. And if you're going to have more access to better games at PLO, then I think learning and like there's upward mobility there, then I think learning it makes a lot of sense. Otherwise, I think there's nothing intrinsically better about PLO in terms of earn potential. It just depends on the games available to you. Oh my God. How do I have pocket nines the first time he does this?
It's hard for me to find eights or nines.
It's going to be a lot of ace king.
Because it looks like ace king.
I don't think it's going to be it's not going to be like sevens. So eights maybe, tens, jacks,
Call with
queens.
ace jack. He's never seen me go this big.
Jacks, queens, ace king.
I don't really want to be called by eights.
I don't think it's like ace five. So I'm going to fold. It's like I'm not supposed to,
I might have
but
had fours.
like I'm trying to
That's
think
a
back
tough
to all the
study.
high stakes duels that I watched him play, and I don't feel like I saw him rip it in like that with a hand other than eights that I'm crushing, maybe sevens. But if he has eights and sevens, he's also going to have tens and jacks and queens, I think, and he'll maybe occasionally just be getting tricky with aces, and there's just too much of that. I think it's often ace king. So it's interesting. Maybe I should go less than 250 if he's just limp folding a lot, and I risk less when he limp re-raises. I don't know. I'll think about it. Luke asks, now that Doug is doing a month-long heads-up challenge, any chance for you to? I don't know anything about him doing a month-long heads-up challenge. 7-4, a little too weak. I'd like to have one high card. I'm not going to fold a pair. I'm going to check and take my chances at showdown. Such a small bet. I think I'm beat. You're getting the best of me, Phil.
You may have been drawing dead that hand. He may have had four with the worst kicker.
Manuel asks, so if I say I want to be pro, playing either live or online and actually based in Spain, what do you think? Okay, so this was a follow-up to the study question. You want to be a pro, then I think I would start with kind of for anybody, I would start with something structured. So depending on the level you're at, a course or a book, probably a course. Here with 10, I beat bluffs and I have outs. So I'm going to check call. I will bluff the river because nothing missed.
Just fold a straight.
And I could have had the best hand with the 10, but also like I have the bottom of my range when I check call that flop and 10 peels on the turn.
Just fold a
So start
straight
with something
like
structured.
nothing, Burger.
I think the best ways to learn are at first structured content, eventually getting into solver study and stuff like that. But to start, I would
I was
say
calling 100.
No.
Or even 150.
to start, I would say structured content and get around like peers. So whether it's a group coaching program or you find peers somewhere to study with,
Heads up like jiu-jitsu.
and or hire a coach. I think those are kind of the fastest ways to accelerate your growth. And if you're looking to be a pro, that's a long-term thing. And so any investment you make in yourself now is going to pay dividends for many years to come. So I think I would encourage you to invest in yourself and not worry so much. A lot of players kind of incorrectly are very bankroll focused early on. So this is supposed to be a bluff in my opinion, because if I have like a 5 or 6, I bet the turn. So how do I have a bluffable hand without a 5 or 6? I mean, 10-7. Anyway,
It's not about how many chips you have.
What was I saying?
But can you maintain your style of play?
yeah, I would encourage you to invest in yourself, because just like it's going to pay dividends for many years to come if you do. Queen X, interesting. I don't know about this river spot. Maybe go
King?
for.
Oh, king.
Well, I could. Obviously, I was deciding between going for value and checking.
Oh, hello. At least I lost a minute.
Up against 10-9. Fold this button. But yeah, I think that
Been big.
the cheapest and most effective way to start is, structured courses or books. And which one you pick kind of depends on the level of skill that you're at. And then I would say, find humans. I know a lot of people are eager to jump to solvers and the GTO Wizard like products, and they're fantastic. But I think that early in your journey, you're more often going to go wrong trying to emulate those than. I go pot. I just feel like he's calling a pair and he's folding without a pair, so get max value. I'm kind of repping an ace. I think this makes sense.
Feels like I have.
I feel like he had a draw. Like the amount of time that he took, I don't usually read a ton into timing tells against strong players, but I just feel like I don't know. This may be ill-advised. It's supposed to be a bet, but okay. Bad read by me. Queen 6. Oh wow, he really didn't believe me. So that's what he was tanking about. He's like, nah, he's bluffing. That's what he was saying on his stream. He's like, he's definitely bluffing here, but my hand sucks. He made the hero call. That is a bold hero call, and I love it. I'm not criticizing. I love players who make reads and trust their gut. I work with a lot of poker players now, and the newer generation of poker players, there's just so little gut trusting that I often encourage them to trust themselves more. So this time he goes for the limp call, which is not great for me when I have 7-4 offsuit. And already he's raising flop. I mean, I kind of think I'm beat. 5 outs, 20% if we get to the river. But also it could be like queen 4. This could get me in a lot of trouble.
Oh boy, not in love with that card.
Now I think he's bluffing. Hold on. I was just talking about trusting your gut. I mean, I have the bottom of my range almost. I can't really shove this. What does he have? He doesn't have a set. He's saying he has Jack 10. I don't think he has Jack 10. Maybe he does, but I don't really think so. Man, what is he doing? I mean, I think he's bluffing, but I have a 4. And he's not like bluffing that much in big pots, so I'm not going to trust my gut. That was I can't wait to find out what that was. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Let's catch up to chat. Sorry, I've been behind.
Had to go for it there.
He was just ready to
lines, guys.
To punish my raises of his limps.
Had to go for it. I hated the king.
Feaster. Did I miss the
Somehow
first
he
part of
made
your
kings
question?
and queens. He's just going to get it.
I am Amish asks, how do you think about playing against other top pros? Do you think you often have a significant edge, or do you think it's a wash? So you're more playing for fun? I think that 2 pros playing heads up. I think if 2 pros are playing heads up, almost like edges can be pretty significant. And so usually I'm playing because I think I have the edge, but so is my opponent. And so, you know, who knows? But yeah, I think that it's not a wash. I think it's very rarely a wash. It's usually somebody's just wrong. One player thinks they have the edge, the other player thinks they have the edge. And edges can get pretty significant in heads up poker, even hold'em, but especially PLO. Let's fold 10-8. Feaster says just personal 2 cents for the guy asking about studying. Hiring a good coach was the absolute fastest way to improving my win rate and understanding the game, no question about it. And that's
standard
kind of
raise a button a lot style, which
been
means I trap him.
my experience in seeing what other people are doing. Feaster says advice. I love poker, but struggle to see a path to play full time. I have. Let's go for this. Just protect our hand. Showdown now against King High. I have a high-paying job that I hate, and even though I beat 200 NL for 4BB last year, it's clear that's not close to match my office job income. So this is a great question, and you're no doubt in a tricky spot. I'm going to check call my... No, I'm going to raise my Jack of Spades. No, is that crazy? No, let's call. Can maybe raise the turn. All right, now we bet and see what happens. So the advice I would give you is to start by thinking long term. So thinking about where you want to be. I'm going to pot again, like I did last time on the ace. Last time he didn't believe me. Well, he believed me this time. I think he won't again, by the way. I'm sure whatever he has, he's probably saying that I don't have it this time. That's my read. This is the bet I made last time. 2/3 pot. I believe this is the bet I made. Doesn't believe me again, or for the check with 2 pair and trap me. I mean, it's not a crazy trap, certainly, when the ace
I think
turns.
if I raise him there, I think he gets away.
So, Feaster, think long term. Think about where you want to be. Like, it's even helpful just to go 10 years into the future. Like, what would be a dream life 10 years from now? And if that's too far away for you, go 5 years. And just think about what would be kind of a dream outcome, and then start to plan, around how to get there. Here, I feel like he might be bluffing. He might have a 7. Obviously, he could have a deuce, but he folds a lot of deuces pre-flop. So I kind of feel like I just have 4s or something. I don't know. I'll check back my ace high. I don't think I need to go for protection. And now I check down and hope that he was bluffing and gave up. No, he just had a 7.
You should have ace high there. I could have value bet the river.
Yeah, so think about where you want to be 5 years, 10 years from
It's
now.
a little thin, though.
And I would,
Yep.
does switching to poker now get you there? And obviously enjoyment in the meantime is important too.
I did check raise
but
him with the
but
deuce,
it's
deuce,
also
pretty hard to fold ace queen there.
sometimes it can be easier to stomach
So I don't blame him for
the
calling.
harder path if it's leading towards an outcome that you're really excited about. And maybe the
KR
outcome you're really excited
99G,
about
I'm
is
not trying to
retiring from
entertain
your
anybody.
real work and
Just
focusing
trying
on
to play
poker.
great poker.
And so
Maybe.
putting in a few more years at your real job that pays better is a way to get there. I'm gonna make a thin. Am I gonna? No, I'm gonna check. And now I'm gonna go for value. He checks a 9 here, I think. This is iffy. Okay, or I'm just in net, or both.
He can only beat a 6. I'm not calling him with the deuce there.
Where'd it go?
Very. Not sure I love his bet, but he won the max.
Okay. He has been c-betting a lot.
Sure,
in
I
these spots.
love his
He
bet.
had a 6. Okay. We're calling with the deuce. Nice hand, Phil. So that's where I would start. Obviously, if we were having a 2-hour conversation, there'd be a lot of places to go from there based on what your answer is to where you want to be. But actually, you shouldn't have an answer, well, unless you've done this exercise before, you shouldn't have an answer off the top of your head. That should be something you go away and think about for, an hour plus. All right, Phil. All right, Phil. Hey, Phil Hellmuth in the chat. What's up? I thought we weren't watching each other's streams. Maybe this is your team. But good stuff so far from you two. Getting a little owned. So I'm actually... I don't know why I just want to decide I wanted to keep trapping here, but I did. What is he saying he has? A bluff? Let's go for a raise. Infinite book. There is no rebuying. This is a freeze out. We're going to play 2 freeze outs, assuming this one doesn't take 5 hours, which it might. Tony Bronco says, do you get frustrated playing against small ballers like Phil is doing right now?
Could be bluffing.
I don't. It can be
Way underrated.
mentally challenging or emotionally challenging, I should say, if you're down, like if I was down 20K and I like to get 20K back against a player like this is really, really challenging. But no, I'm not too, it doesn't bother me. Like poker to me, deep stack poker, I don't really like when we're down to like, if I'm down to 2K in chips, dollars. But deep stack poker, playing multiple streets, hand reading, figuring stuff out, like it's fun for me no matter the pot sizes. Let's see. Bad decision, Phil. Galfond.
Yeah.
Kay misread the stacks for the first few minutes as 4 million and 5 million. That would be fun. I'd be playing very small ball if 4 million and 5 million stacks. You'd probably just check every pot down. Let's show down an ace and see who wins. It's us. Does not 3-bet Jack 10 suited. So I'm going to assume it's a kind of polarized 3-betting strategy. Moonlight Master asked if I would have called a shove with ace queen versus 8-6. Shove was a lot of chips. I mean money. I don't know why I keep saying chips. So no, I would not have. Let's go for value. It's a little bit thin, but spades missed, Jack 10, Jack 9, etc. missed.
Probably should have checked. Well,
I don't feel like he's going to bluff the deuce. Patty asks, what is your opinions on exploitative poker? Do you think it's a viable strategy online? Yes, absolutely. But here's the thing. A lot of people say that they're, playing exploitative rather than GTO poker because they simply don't understand GTO poker.
Entertaining people.
And it just means that they're doing whatever they want. And if that's your approach, then, it's probably not very good. But if you have a decent understanding of the fundamentals and you are reading your opponents and making exploitative adjustments, I think it's the best way to play. And that's how I try to play. I mean, it's how I do play. I don't know. I try to do it well. I don't always do it well, but I always do it. Feaster, you're very welcome. Thanks for asking the great question, as well as answering somebody else's question in the process, or prior to, or after. I guess the order doesn't matter. It does get tempting to build a big pot against, like when I'm just waiting and every pot's small. I'll just keep checking down.
This is where I'm going to bet 50 and hope he check raises me.
He goes for the bet here.
It's at 300, 400, and 8.
I don't know. I mean, my hand's pretty bad on this board. A lot of like air hands could have bluffed at some point because there's so many draws possible. So I don't feel great about calling there. Steven says, this is so cool watching two legends play heads up. I'm glad you're enjoying, I'm enjoying it too. This is really cool.
56, 53.
And,
This is like every one of my heads matches.
all possible thanks to BetRivers Poker.
Everyone.
It's very cool to, I mean, I always want to be playing kind of, not always, I sometimes want to sleep, but I often want to be playing high stakes challenges against well-known opponents. It's very fun to me. I'll check. I'm going to give up here. I don't feel good about it. I have 2 diamonds. Might have worked. Oh, Stephen went on to ask, will you be playing the main event or any other bracelet events this year? I don't know yet, actually.
Pretty tricky.
Every time I go into the summer with a plan, it changes anyway, so I have no idea. Edward asks says, holy, this heads up is so great. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thank you. How strong do you think Hellmuth is in this style of deep stack heads up poker? I don't really know. I think he's quite strong. So like I was saying earlier, I watched
they're ace-5 against queen jack.
Was I saying this to you all, or I might have been saying it to a friend earlier? I watched a lot of the high stakes duels that he played against Antonio.
These are two guys really
trying. I believe he played Dwan. He played Jason Kuhn. Nick Wright, I think he played. I don't know if I missed any, but he played great. I was really impressed, and actually, I was telling this to a friend, and I was telling it to the stream last night. I don't remember the date, but if somebody finds, I wrote a pretty long post on Twitter/X about being very impressed by him during those matches, and actually was a turning point in my personal kind of opinion of his game. I didn't think he was bad, but I didn't realize, like, there was kind of there's sometimes, especially from online players, Hellmuth plays such an unorthodox style that it's often not respected. And
two world-class players, guys.
I'll admit that for a time I was in that camp where just like, yeah, I'm sure he reads people well, but these fundamentals are so bad. And when he played the thing about those duels, not only was it heads up, which is like, you really got to play good poker to win heads up, but it was also against good players. It's not like he was playing, in these large field tournaments against a bunch of people, playing their first tournament ever, and playing really badly against him. So, and what I saw was two things, really. One, his kind of random creativity, let's call it, was not so random, because his kind of
was super in the tank.
His hit percentage, meaning how often he made a weird play that was right against his opponent's exact hand, was really high. And it was too high over all of those matches to be a coincidence, in my opinion.
And
two, if he did have reads, the way that he took advantage of it, I thought was really creative and smart. And so essentially I was kind of seeing what I used to see as randomness. I kind of got it a little bit more. This is kind of like, it's a hand I want to bluff with, but I don't feel great about it. And I kind of want to bluff now. I'm not going to. I don't know. I don't feel good about it. All right, I win with the 3.
I played that one a little slow.
So yeah, he was just, I was very impressed. And that kind of made me realize how...
He re-raised before the flop with that queen 10?
Like, just how incredibly talented a player he is. And it's the kind of thing where I can't see what he is seeing at the table to make those reads. I am not as good as him at it, and it's not like I can watch and say, like, oh, okay, he saw Negreanu do that, so he knows he's weak. Like, I don't have reads on Negreanu. But it was just so I don't know how he does it, but just the sheer percentage of the time that the right play worked out. And yes, like, I guess I'll call 1/5 pot with ace high. What was I gonna say? And yes, he ran good in some spots, because like Daniel played pretty well too. And so it's not like Hellmuth was meant to win 3 out of 3. But yeah, he just, I don't know how he does it, but I just saw too much evidence to pretend that that he doesn't see something. I'm drinking water, although coincidentally it has my opponent's initials on it. So we'll see if we'll see by the end of the night if it's.
You guys, I can hear you talking.
Tears.
Why don't you guys just talk upstairs?
Only the realist stays says, can you finish about bankroll? Unfortunately, I'm sorry, I don't remember what I was saying about bankroll. So can you re-ask the question and hopefully I'll see it. By the way, if I miss your question, feel free to just ask again and I'm happy to, you're not bugging me. Easy check call with bottom pair and a heart. And I'm just going to try to show this down. John says we need Dwan versus Isildur heads up. That would be a lot of fun to watch.
Okay, well, that's King of Hearts.
Okay, nice hand. Patty asks if I would say Phil is your greatest of all time or you prefer not to choose. For me, and I've said this before publicly, I think Doyle Brunson is my pick for greatest of all time. He, I'll give the short version because I talked about it elsewhere. You could probably find a YouTube short or Instagram reel or I don't know, something somewhere else. Actually, a tweet, a longer tweet. But in 2016-ish, I was playing a high stakes, it was a 100K buy-in game where we played like 12 different games, all no limit and pot limit. And almost all of the players winning in that game were my generation of poker players. And like I don't even think we had, at least in the early days, I don't think we had anybody over 45 come into the game and win. However, I'm going to go ahead and bet this 2-pair. However, Doyle Brunson in his 80s came into the game and was a winner in the game. And that to me, again, somebody who I respected from afar, one of the most famous poker players in the world. But until I got that experience or got to see up close, I guess. In Hellmuth's case, I was seeing up close by watching on TV, playing heads up, which is just a much different format. It's my format, even though Hold'em's not my format. Heads up is my format, and like I get it
I was hoping for a little more than that with aces, guys.
And seeing Doyle up close in this, and seeing him win in a game that nobody near his age was winning, I just couldn't imagine like how amazing he must have been in his youth. I'm gonna bet. Could go for a check raise, but I don't know. Felt like betting. He had a 7. Check raise might have worked against that. But anyway, and I actually asked him because I was so impressed. I said, when you were my age, Doyle, did you just crush everybody? And he was modest about it, but the answer was yes. He said it in a way that was like, he said, you have to understand, Phil, when I started playing poker, I was the only college educated person that played poker. So it was, I call. I have an ace and a 5, so I call. I don't need to do much hand reading. Let's just see what he has.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Doyle's way of saying that, yeah, he was crushing everybody. I'll go for a check raise here. Keeps not letting me. I'm going to go for a check raise again this time. This time I have the ace as well. Owned me. Feaster asks, do you think you have ended up feeling more fulfilled in life by taking risks/chances aligned with your passions versus playing it safe, even if the risks don't work out how you might envision?
Straight. Oh my
So
goodness.
Yes, but I don't think my answer
He checked
is
all
going to be
three
everybody
streets. I
else's
checked
answer.
behind him.
I'm, we're all different people. For me, I'm the least risk averse person. I mean, I guess I know a lot of people who are very not risk averse, like me, but I'm very comfortable taking risks. I like challenging myself. Like I really, what I get passionate about is pursuing mastery and pursuing achievement. And so there's no real path where I don't do those things and be happy, because that's just really important to me and who I
Let's see if
am.
I check.
But not everybody is the same, and yeah. So to answer your question, for me, yes, but I don't think that means that it's true for you necessarily. And another thing you can do as you're looking at long term and what you want. I mean, I think my hand looks like what it is here, and I'm just going to check. Another thing that you can do after looking long term is like if you also want to as an exercise,
Happy to win.
write down your values. And so what I would say is don't necessarily make up your values. I think you could just go to ChatGPT and ask it for like a list of 50 values to choose from,
Win the tournament, right? Won the heads-up match with.
and pick
If I jam sixes,
the five that
I
resonate with
win.
you, and
Not
or
necessarily.
however many resonate with you deeply, not the ones that you're like, yeah, I like contributing to my neighborhood, but like if it's not actually a passion, like there are a lot of things that sound nice. To keep calling here doesn't feel great. I could lead the 10. Maybe I should. Probably should have.
Shit.
I think he had a queen. Let's see if I was right.
At least I charged him.
I was right.
He wasn't getting paid on any of his cards either.
But yeah, knowing kind of some people like to do value, some people like to do a mission. Kind of depends what feels good to you. But I think getting stuff on paper, it feels so. A lot of people feel silly about doing an exercise that just writes down something that they already know. But a lot of times you don't really know it and see it in the same way if it's just sitting in your head and not out on paper somewhere. So that might help you. Like for me, whether you want to call it achievement or mastery, pursuing mastery, or being the best. Those are values. Something along those lines are one of my kind of core values, and so for me, taking risks to pursue that was inevitable. I think that's not important to everybody, and it doesn't mean that. I mean, it shouldn't necessarily be. What's important to you should be what's important to you. None of them are better or worse than others. What is a good way to study 4 and 5 card PLO tournaments? Do you think is a good game type to specialize in? It does seem like those are picking up, especially 4 card tournaments. If you asked me 5 years ago if that was a good game type to specialize in, I would have said no way. But now I think it's reasonable. I mean, I'm partial to Vision at runonce.com, which I own. But it's my favorite way to study PLO, and you can study 5 card PLO there too. It doesn't have ICM built in, but it does have shorter stacks, so you could look at least chip EV in a lot of those tournament spots. Could raise. Let's call. I mean, I think call's the play. I'm going to overbet for a dumb reason. I'm not going to tell you the reason because it's too dumb.
Interesting.
But I think it's the best way to play this spot.
Yeah, okay. Let's call this one.
JL asks, do I think a 15 buy-in downswing in 3 months playing live 2-5 is within normal variance? Yes, I do. However, if you played a lot of volume during those 3 months, this is like just good enough to call when he makes it small. If you played a lot of volume during those 3 months, then maybe not, because your win rate should be very high, and actually standard deviation in those games are is very low often. So I feel like Hellmuth has like King Jack, which is good news for me on the deuce. So we're not folding. Are we betting? I think we're betting.
He's never seen me come off the lane. I think he has to bet here.
I don't really like how long I took, but I kind of say that whether I'm bluffing or value betting. What I'm trying to do is get him to make some silly bluff raise. I don't think he's bluffing, but oof, what a turd. All right, nice hand, Phil. I wanted to make a silly bluff min raise, not a. But I mean, I was happy to call it all in. I thought I was ahead of aces, King Jack, something like that. But it's not looking good for us for round one. I will do what I can. It's not over yet.
It was an unlucky deuce for him. He's going to lose. I'm going to bet the next few streets he's going to lose. He's going to lose more money, but not that much money. Let's limp in. Now he has to limp with Queen High or Jack High or King High.
Do we jam King 7?
Because my limp percentage is so high. It's not good.
Oh, he owned me again. All right, kings are not my friend. Or are they? Okay. Revenge.
Couldn't get it done.
Now we're going to be doing a lot of limping.
Okay, Phil. That was an unlucky deuce you had there, my friend. Unlucky deuce.
I don't hate checking this, but let's go ahead and bet. We'll check the turn. I hope to improve or win at showdown. Improving, I'll take that. We have the nuts. He's not gonna.
He probably has a deuce for a straight. Doesn't want to bet it against me. He's right.
King 9, I think is well. I'm terrible at short stack play, so I have no idea. That feels like a good checking hand. Oh, you guys said I'm frozen? Is everything frozen? Oh, interesting. The table's frozen. Oh no. I hope you guys caught me getting stacked. I don't think you did. All right, let me try to fix this. I don't know why that would have. Why would that have happened? Display. Nope. I'm gonna show you the screen for a second and switch it back. All right. Well, unfortunately, we might have. I'll jam King Queen. Let me see. I don't think you guys. I don't think you guys saw me get stacked, unfortunately.
King 5 suited there. I don't think he's trying to give me the match. I tricked him with a King Jack. He had to go for it.
How do I want to play this spot?
You know, we had to go for it.
I'll bet.
I limped in. I limped with so many hands. You're moving with
Sorry
king
about that.
nine, king nine.
I actually have never had that
That's great.
happen.
You hit king
I've had
seven.
other
You hit
stream errors, but never just had
All right.
screen frozen. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep fighting back. Now we have a hand. He's raising. I think I should raise.
Still in flop something like that.
That's too bad.
If he knows I flop something at least.
You guys are still telling me it's frozen. It'll be fixed. I guess I'll check king 3. Can we claw our way back? Can we claw our way back? I almost don't want to. I want to play with 5K stacks again. I think I'm going to blast off. All right, here we'll check.
Tempted to just jam with the ace-8 there, but what am I gonna win? $50?
I feel so bad. Yeah, everybody's typing that it's frozen. I feel so bad that I think you guys are soon going to see me get stacked and actually not see me get stacked. Check call this flop. Everything is got there. I think I need to bluff.
It's taking a long time. He has something. Can we call? It's a jack, I guess.
Too bad. Got there with the ace. I'm not expecting to make him fold that.
Can't raise and let him back in, folks.
We'll check this one back.
Phil Galfond's a great player. You have to give no oxygen. No oxygen.
Please finish answering the downswing
With oxygen,
question.
it'll be a
Basically, what I was
score.
saying is I don't think if you're losing for that long at that game for 3 months, it's actually 15 buy-ins is not that much, but 3 months of losing in that game is a lot because, oh my God, he folds. Because win rates should be very high if you're like a, semi-professional or something. I'm gonna go ahead and raise this. I just don't think he's doing a lot of raising. So I'll raise a kind of polarized range from the button.
It's first raise in a while. Fold 2 buttons in a row.
We'll raise this one too. Hope he's curious after the last one. Although it's not like he's going to shove 5-3 offsuit or something. Okay, let's see what he has. That's what we're hoping for. I shouldn't have said the word for. That's dangerous. Okay.
Come on. What the fuck? Just fold to me. Yeah, come on.
Okay, can we come back? Oh, he's tilted. He's min raising.
I mean, I don't mind losing. Let's make it a flip, you know?
Otis asks, what do you think about rounding solver frequencies to the nearest 25%
Let's make it a flip,
to help
though.
simplify
Flippy,
executing
not
them? I think that's a good
jacks.
idea. In all but some in most spots, that's going to be all you need, all the precision you need.
Okay, he's back up to like 38 big blinds.
Okay. I'm gonna raise this one up. Why am I gonna raise it up?
He knows
To
I've
read.
linked him with all these hands.
Because he like came back from me getting stacked and raised the last hand. This is not a super advanced read, but I'll just tell you what I was thinking. If he had a big hand again, I feel like he would just raise again rather than limp. And hope that I assume he's tilting. Here he goes for the click back. I mean, I'm calling, I have no idea. I don't have a read. I don't have a read on this. But I do have a pair. And sometimes a pair is better than a read. That's not good.
Also some jamming all turns.
That's not good.
He can call with a 6.
Start with a call.
Win with a 6.
Hope to improve. It's not a good turn, too. All right, nice hand. Nice hand, Phil.
That's a good sign.
I feel like I'm supposed to raise this, but let's see a flop. Let's see a flop. Okay. Do I want to bet or check this? I'm going to check. Guess I'm going to win.
Ooh, getting locked up pretty good there. Locked up pretty good.
I think I'll
83, I'm going.
wait to bluff this till later. This turn is actually not a bad spot. I don't think, like, the queen is such a bad card for me. He's not folding an ace, he's not folding a queen. I'm hoping he folds a king. Could he have Jack X of clubs? Maybe. And he folds that, but I'm going to let him win this one. Nice hand. Oh no, Jack X of clubs.
That time you could have bluffed me,
anyway,
Phil. That's the problem, though. I
Meanwhile,
just
says,
check call with
"I'm
top
super
pair, check
curious
call
why
with
your
top
opponent's
pair,
spinning
check call
go.
with top pair.
General three hand sitting
It's
go
hard
for
on
too
him.
much variance. Love from Italy.
Okay, here he comes.
A lot of
It's
variance.
ace four.
What I'm more concerned about is the rake and beatability.
Oh, ace
And
four.
that's going to vary site to site and player pool to player pool. So keep an eye on that. But you know, swings have a lot to do
50 here.
with how much edge you have, not just how high variance the game is. And so focus on edge, and I think you'll be good, in a good spot. Saying he has 6-7 or 8-5 or 5-5 or like ace-ace. I guess deuce 3. I don't know why I'm suspicious.
Phil has nothing or he has quads, which is accurate.
I am. Why am I suspicious? I mean, nothing. Yeah, no, I shouldn't. Like 6-7 and deuce 3 can play this way. They don't have to bet the flop. 5-5 makes sense. 8-5 makes sense. It all makes sense. I mean, 8x makes some sense too, of course.
Good fold, Phil. I had it. Good fold. I had quads.
All right, we'll fold to 5-3.
Oh,
get
you
something
dodged my
going.
nines too.
I don't like playing this short. I have to be short in real life. I don't want to be short at the poker table. Keep checking. And keep checking my stream to make sure it's still moving.
he's probably like, what did Phil just do? He just checked down king queen? Never put a bet in?
He was suspicious, that hand.
This look weird.
Very suspicious. I guess I'll limp. I mean, what are you saying you have, Phil? Are you leading a deuce? Are you leading an ace that you didn't raise pre? Maybe.
Oh, I hope he was bluffing. So now I'm going.
Okay, I'm not going to bluff now on the ace.
He was
I want to see his hand. I'm excited to see his hand. All right, he rolled a deuce. That's just like what?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have an
We're
ace.
ready to put it
or
in
he
on
shouldn't
that.
have an ace when he limps back or checks back pre, and I still have all the ace X. Check call. I don't feel like I can fold a 9. He could have a 9. He probably has an ace. That was trapping me. But 2 to 1, I can't fold everything.
Yeah, he had to have a 9.
He's capable of bluffing here. Okay,
Let's
10s.
see. Yeah, he had a 9.
We'll limp in.
He had a 9. I could have won more money there. I mean, I know he's jamming with an ace, so ace, ace 9 is the perfect flop for my hand there.
So we've been down to 10 big blinds before. We got back up to, what did we get to? 40 big blinds? I'll jam this. I don't feel great about it. I feel like he's
Phil, I had limped in with 10s and
Well,
9s
he's
and
just,
8s on the button. Or a
trapped me at the right times.
couple of those hands anyway.
This one,
You gonna jam it? Oh,
let's
yeah.
jam. 2 live cards. It is not
Okay.
looking good.
One down.
He got us. We have to play another.
5-minute break or whatever?
Yeah.
Should I log out?
Just
No, you don't have to log in. I'm good.
anytime you split your focus, if you're somebody like me who can obsess, you'd be better off obsessing over one thing if you can maintain that obsession and the interest and the passion. Not necessarily better off overall, but you will get further in that one thing if you focus just on that. But I think it's totally realistic, just in that, I have, like, when I played my heads up challenges against great players. Now we're back. When I played my heads up challenges against great players, I have to grab the chat. I was running a business, or 2 businesses, and I was a father. And so you can do all those things. Or rather, I did a couple of things, and I did pretty well. Could I have done better if I was just focused on poker? Probably. But it's still achievable. It's just harder. And in some ways, I know that, how do I put this? I kind of don't believe him. I mean, because, like, what would he do this with? An ace, maybe? Not, I guess. I feel like a flush would check. Let's see it. A 9.
Well, I think I outdrew my guy there. Yeah, he had king 5, so he had a king in the end. Unlucky for him.
So yeah, it's possible. And I was going to say, I think in some ways having, like, I know for me having, like, becoming a father, and that
Both
for the
flopped
first
a
time
straight
gave me
draw.
a schedule. Like, I start my work day and I end my work day, other than some exceptional, unusual days where I'm, doing something else. And I know that that structure actually made me more efficient in a lot of ways. There's a delay c-bet bluff. Cactus says, you're my favorite big game player, but why did you play loose and aggressive on the show? I mean, I would consider myself normally a loose aggressive player. Certainly back when I played on that, I was kind of a maniac. I was very young, and it's funny, I actually forgot that I
Look
played
at
on
this,
it.
100% hands played and
A couple people
100%
have
hands
said
raised.
they liked watching me on that, and I was like, oh yeah, I did play on the big game. Do I remember Lego poker? Yeah, of course. Mike Lee says, seems like bluffing is the easiest way to win quickly. How do you resist the temptation to overbluff? It's a great question. A lot of people, so there's some players that are tempted to overbluff. There are some that are tempted to underbluff, or AKA scared to bluff. I think it's really important to know which one you are. And from there, I mean, it's not a simple thing, but studying poker and kind of getting a handle on, I am going to go for a bluff here. Studying poker and getting a handle on, like, what do you call it with kings? That makes sense.
The slowest slow
rubbing
play
10.
of kings you've ever seen in your life.
Like getting better handle on strategy and just noticing where you shy away from certain plays or where you take advantage of them too much. So for me, it was shying away from aggression. That was an issue that I had. And so what I did is when I get into spots and I want to make a more aggressive play, I will, I kind of don't like this because I feel like he's going to trap check his kings. I feel like he's going to trap his kings. 8 deuce, ace high, kings. I feel like if he, I'm going to make a nitty check. Okay, too nitty. Where was I? Oh, so for me, I had to work on pushing myself to make more bluffs and thinner value bets and just build bigger pots, which I know I'm not doing today because I don't think it's the way I want to play this match. But what I would do is when I got into those spots and I didn't want to make the play, I would ask myself, do I not think this is a good
60-0, my normal.
insert, whatever, the blank, like a thin value bet
All
or
right.
bluff or whatever I say just after I miss the thin value bet. Or is this fear? Is this, discomfort? Are you trying to be comfortable? And I think a kind of the reverse, or rather like a backdoor to get around to this, is if you don't know which one you are, take note of when you feel uncomfortable at the poker table. What makes you uncomfortable? And that's a great place to start, kind of recognizing that those are leaks that you have. All right, so this is going to be at least a couple barrels. Nope, just kidding. I had a realization on the break that because he only limps, pretty much, I can't 3-bet. So all the 3-bet pots are him 3-betting. I'm not thrilled that he's potting it. It feels like he's not repping much worse than my hand. Well, let's go with call and figure it out. He could have ace-5 or something like that. I think I have to bet. I think I'm going to see some ace-5. I think I'm going to see some, do I want to pot? I think I'm going to see some ace-5. I'm going to see some 7-6 and 7-5. That speed of a call, I think it was ace-5. 6s and a non-believer.
Come on.
Just thinks I'm
He's
running him
raising
over.
every hand. How does he have an ace?
Check call top pair, backdoor flush draw. I think I have the best hand like 80% of the time, but it's hard to get value on that run out. Hard to get value on that run out. Yeah, ace king high. So we see that ace king on jack 10. That's not abnormal. Do I want to rip in eights? I don't think so. I could. Nah. It might not be the worst to rip in eights in a spot like this. Because now I get in this weird spot where he's small betting. I think against small, I have to peel. I don't know, he's done so much big betting on these boards. I feel like if he was bluffing, he would just bet big. So I should probably fold flop even to the third pot. Yeah, Magneto, he won the first. Crushed me. I'd really like to see his hand. I don't know what he has here. I don't have any kind of read. That's interesting. I mean, it's tough when you're up against a
call here
bowler
with
through that
jack.
range because you don't see as much like king jack. But I'm in a jam.
He has to fold. Whoa.
Didn't get to see his hand. I think that was like an ace 5. I don't know. I'm gonna bluff this one.
Nobody that raises 80% of pots ever beats me. He's got the lead now.
Lyman, good to see you. Lyman asks,
You may have gotten lucky and had
has
queen 10
Hellmuth
there.
conclusively proved that 8110 is the optimal preflop strategy for heads up? I mean, it's hard to argue with results. Let's check this back. We'll call turn. And we'll plan to hit a king. King of diamonds. That was not the plan. That was not the plan. I'm not going to bluff. Oof. King 3. I guess I should have bluffed. So I didn't expect to see king high there. I thought I would see like a 6, but I did not think king high was going to be shown to me. Otherwise, I would have bluffed jack high. Jonathan, there is a delay. We are on 5-minute delay. I don't know why I looked at the clock. It just felt appropriate. That seems like one. I'm going to wait till the river to bluff. Just kidding. We had a pair, and now he bets. I'm not going to fold the third pot with a pair. 2 pair. Okay, nice hand. Already clawing his way back. Why do I never limp on the button, but Phil always does? He likes this style. I don't think it's the best way to play, but it's what he's comfortable with and enjoys. So I'm going to peel this one. Backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. Credible bluff on a lot of runouts. And now we're going to go for that bluff. I'm not in love with this. I'm not in love with this bluff spot, to be clear. I think it's like on the 4 he checks back a lot of ace X. Yeah, even ace 10 of hearts, which is a very, very strong hand to check back. So like I wish the board ran out a little differently, but I think it was a good, I don't know. I feel like I'd bluff. I guess we're calling. $50. Just throw $50 in a river. And now I'm tempted to bluff, to try to bluff him off of a chop, because maybe he had like ace-5, maybe he was bluffing, but I'm just gonna not do it. He might just have 6 of clubs or something. Okay, he had a 5. It's not the worst hand to do something with, but nah. Let's fold 5-3, show him we can fold a button.
How did I get myself in trouble? I bluffed off 1,500. You just don't have to.
Do I want to bluff? No. Queen high might win at showdown. And now I want to bet. 2/3 seems fine.
Will the real Phil Hellmuth please stand up?
I'm gonna fold the
Please
button
stand
again.
up. Please stand up.
Nittiness rubbing off on me. 7 deuce. Let's see a flop. Let's check whatever it is, and we'll take it from there. Just wondering if this is kind of getting in your way. I guess we'll leave it up there. Stephen Matthew. Hey Phil, have you ever played at Thunder Valley Casino in Northern California? I haven't. So it'd be fun to have. Be fun if you had a small stakes meetup game. Yeah, I haven't played there. I've never done a meetup game in my whole long life. I'm gonna check back again. Just a little spidey sense. Not feeling like I'm beat, but feeling like, I don't know, just don't feel good about it. And now, I don't know. I don't know why I want to bet. I don't know what I think he. It's a normal bet. I don't know what I think he has. Is what I'm trying to say. Okay, we're gonna raise this up. Magneto asks, Galfond, if you beat Hellmuth, does he have to start over? Is this the first to make it to 10K to claim the victory? No. So, truth be told, it's not really clear. The planning was, I mean, we just kind of texted a little bit earlier today. It's not, and Phil kind of just tweeted what I think the rules were going to be. He said to, it's kind of interesting. I could like go for thin value protection on the turn. Decided not to, and here I'm going to check back. It's too thin to go for value on the 9-10 run out. He just has a king. Glad I didn't. My understanding is that these are the only 2 matches we're playing this, and that's it.
Jack 6.
So I'll raise this up.
Oh, he flopped a 6. God, he didn't value bet that? Fuck.
So I think this is it no matter what, although if we go, I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to continue. I play another win or lose, but it does not appear that's the plan. I'm actually, so, okay. I've been going with, well, no, never mind. I'm gonna bet now. Okay, calls with. Nope. Next hand. Pocket eights. I was not surprised by that. I mean, the call is totally fine. I just, I'm used to seeing at this stack, you know, used to seeing that get in pre. For a second, I thought I had deuce six, and I almost just called the flop. Lerp Derp says, Phil, what percent should I be checking back flops in position and heads up pots? I know it's very range dependent, however, I'm asking in general. I'm going to answer in an annoying way. It's not the right question to ask. If you're asking that question and I give you a number, it's not going to be helpful. And so I would suggest that you, whether it's, I can't guess your full, you know, poker knowledge based on one question, but I do know from the question that you'd be better off starting at, I'm going to go for the check raise here. You'd be better off, I'm going to go for the check raise again. It doesn't seem to work very often, but. But yeah, either working with peers, getting a coach, getting a course that.
I think he had 3-4s.
Because, or if you're
He just
more
doesn't
advanced,
get
I'm
paid by
thinking
me.
studying, you know, with solver tools.
He just doesn't get paid.
And then you learn, you know, on which boards, what strategies make the most sense, and so on and so forth.
I'm slow playing pocket eights.
I'm gonna bet. Could check this. Could bet this. I'm gonna check. And I mean, I call ace and a two, also known as a deuce. It's just too good of cards to not call. And he has that. That's too bad. We'll raise up eights. We will get this in
And a deuce.
if he does something. And we'll see that. And how do we want to play this one? I think bet turn, check, decide, river. We need a lot of protection here. We can still get value. I mean, it's unfortunate if he has like ace four spades and he jams turn. And I think
Fine with me.
To the
Let's
jam,
go.
But
I'm the great trapper.
I just think playing it as a check call is like not that thrilling. Playing it as a check fold is crazy. So yeah, I just like the idea of betting. In cases, haven't seen you really overbet turns and rivers. Is that because one, the spots ain't there? Two, it's Hellmuth, or three, it's not really your style. No, I've had a couple of them, but I guess the spots haven't been there, and or I miss the spots sometimes. I think I've not quite done enough of it, probably because I don't play this game, so I probably missed the right spots. Seems like a fold with ace queen high. Nice hand. Ace queen, another one that we'll be getting in begrudgingly.
Just jam. Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, come on.
Let's see.
He's been raising.
Hey, we're ahead.
And oh, wow, I get lucky. I get lucky.
Back to
Sorry,
even
Phil
stacks.
Galfond.
But nice to see him shove. I didn't know, like, I actually didn't feel great about calling it off there because I didn't know if he shoved ace jack. I thought ace queen he would shove. Ace jack he might not. So good to see ace jack offsuit and just have that knowledge now. Probably check this turn. Not enough. If I had turned a gut shot, keep barreling, but in this spot now. Okay. I just heard a rumor
Okay.
that if, you know, we end this match soon, he would play another. So we'll see. Well, we almost got to see. It's kind of exciting because I got that text right before getting all in.
He made a good check, though. I got lucky.
Jason asked, what do the numbers near the character's head mean? 81.3 and 65.65.
Well, he was raising way too long.
VPIP, meaning voluntarily.
There's always an excuse for a bad
voluntarily
play,
put in
folks.
pot. And then raise, pre-flop raise. Check this one. As part of Hero IQ is the feature. We also have the 3-bet stat over here, the number of hands played as well, as I fold this turn. Accidental grenade says, good luck from the Hellmuth studio, Phil. Glad to be a part of this epic matchup. Thank you for being a part of it. And for the good luck wishes. Don't tell other Phil that you wish me good luck. All right. Let's get some cards.
Yeah, 50 big blinds with ace jack is not me.
Good cards. I think going bigger here is standard, but I don't care. I'm just going to keep going small. And I'm going to go bet check. It's kind of a cop out of a play. Like it makes it easier to play. But I just think I'm getting called by all the pairs on the turn, and I think if I check back, it plays a little tougher. Oh, we got the raise. It's one of the 9% of hands that he's decided to raise. Love to see it. As it goes check on the flop with a gut shot and a flush draw, I'm going to bet. Okay. Okay. Yeah, keep the questions coming. I probably missed some, but they've slowed down now a little bit. I'm not supposed to bet this, but I'd like to. I wanted to barrel if I turned to gut shot or something, but I'm going to check this turn. And now I'm going to bet. Right? Yeah, king high, ace high. It makes a lot of sense that he could be, okay. It was king high. Got there with the 10. Caro, you're not dreaming.
I flopped a straight. No action.
Hi, Phil.
Okay. It's better than losing.
I live in Pennsylvania and I've tried since.
I caught a nice break. We got 2,500 in with ace jack.
Interesting. Can you?
I didn't put in. I don't think I put in any big bets
Master,
with anything worse than ace queen.
Share an email address.
Either in
or
session.
if you want to share a way that I could identify you to the team publicly in chat, I can see what's going on, or try to. Jack 9, I'll check. I can maybe start raising some thinner value hands. Maybe a call, I don't know. I've not been doing a ton of post-flop raising. I feel like I should be, but I don't know. I feel like I haven't found the spots, but maybe I need to push myself to be a little more aggressive. And win the big pots. I need to push myself to win the big pots too. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Go home. Go to your home. All. Bet's turn. I'm gonna fold this one. Actually, it's kind of nitty, but. Oh, stop! If that's the, maybe that's not. That's interesting. I do not know. I'm not tech, so, or techie, so I'm not really sure how to handle it. Or I don't have a guess as to what's going on. I'll continue to check. Could win with Queen 9, could obviously improve in that way or another. I'm gonna call now for sure, and let's see what he has. Okay. Did we lose any buy-ins? So this is our second match. I lost. We're playing 5K freeze outs at 25.50, and the first one I lost. So I'm down 5K. Checking this flop. Gonna check the turn as well. Am I? No, I'm gonna start betting. I'm gonna start betting. We get raised. I'm not gonna fold. I'm gonna call. I'm gonna call. I'm gonna win. His quick check on the river makes me think he had a pair. Force. That makes sense. Get some protection. He has 6 outs to improve. And those are cards that I slow down on, so it's a pretty good hand choice for that. Let's bet this terrible 8 for no great reason. He goes a big check raise. I kind of just want to go nuts. What do I want to do here? I don't know. I am suspicious. I'm suspicious because I don't know. I'm suspicious. But how do I want to handle it? Do I want to? Last time I took a long time in bet, I called a jam, so. All right. I'm less suspicious now that he called. I might just have like ace 10. Maybe he has ace 10 actually. I'm going to check. I'm not going to bluff my 8. Maybe he has a draw. Oh, okay, 7-9. So I got my value on the turn, but that was his river. Give him the oh no.
No, he had an 8.
So this is the second one. Yeah, this is the second
He
one we
bet
played. I lost
bottom
the first
pair. Should have let out on the river for 800.
one. I said I wanted to do more post-flop raising.
That was a better play.
9 of hearts. It's a pretty bad hand, but let's go for it.
Should have let out.
Yeah, so we don't hold 5 high. We're not allowed to add
That was
on.
bad. He's folding anyway, but I
top up.
gotta bet there. You hit the straight. You gotta bet it. And you never know when somebody just calls you with bottom pair.
We are playing sometimes short stack poker, currently deep, which I like. I thought we were going to win the second when we were all in with ace queen, but it was not meant to be, or not meant to be yet. I'm going to check this river. I don't think there's enough value. He goes bet, check, bet. Queen X makes sense. Would he bet a 9? Probably, maybe. Some kind of 10, jack, 7 or 6 blocker, maybe. I'm a little curious this time. Not exactly sure why. Okay, it's just a 9. Just a 9. My curiosity gets the best of me sometimes.
Every time I have fours,
Yeah, no, we can't
kings
top
or
up.
jacks.
Go to your
Not
home.
this time.
And that's a reason I've, like I said, I am playing a little more. I go for the check raise. I'm playing a little more cautiously than I would be if we could top up, because I don't know, I want to get into more turn, like, I don't know, I want to play more hands. I don't want it to be over at some point in the not so distant future. All right, I'm going to overbet the turn. Although, man, he can make some big folds. Maybe I'm not going to. I'm going to be. I don't want to set off his white magic alarm bells yet.
Okay, Phil.
PTW asks,
bluff.
hey Phil, who do you think should buy your PLO heads up course? Players of what level can benefit the most from it? I think I made it in a way that you could benefit at a lot of different levels, not like total beginner, but and it is heads up. I review a lot of heads up hands, but it's not just heads up, to be clear. But I think
Fours again.
it's an expensive course, so it's more of a matter of
Finally won a bout
if you
with
can afford
fours.
it, then I think it could help all kinds of players. Because I do start in some ways kind of basic with concepts and get very advanced. I guess I'll check. Now I'll bet. Yeah, as Moonlight Master says, I'm quoting BetRivers Poker on YouTube regarding the rake. This is actually a Robin Hood scenario where we take the rake from the Phils and redistribute it to Pennsylvania via Rakeback Revolution. If you don't know about Rakeback Revolution, it's great. I talked about it for a long time last stream. I don't have the energy to talk about it at length right now. I gotta win a match first. I might go with raise. He might suspect it. But it's just like, I have very relevant cards and good future blockers, good, I don't know. On the 7, I'm going to check. I do have some showdown value here. And it makes sense that I would check a lot of like pretty decent hands here. So I don't think he's going to bet too thinly. And check the river as well, and probably goes check and he has 9, but I could win against some
He
stuff.
was bluffing with it there.
Okay. Zorsha.
You thought my half pot
Versus
bet meant I didn't have
for
it.
years. That's I know true of many poker players, and it's not necessarily what I set out to do. But hey, gotta. I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say. Something. Let's go for a check. What I like about check calling this board is that it like kind of looks like I have ace king, so I connect on ace and king, and but now, how do I want to play this? I'm a little concerned that this bluff's not going to work, but like I think that I have to bluff because I shouldn't have many bluffs based on the way that I played this hand. Because ace high and king high in my shoes can just check down. A lot of like 7-6, jack 8, other stuff would have bluffed at some point already. So, I mean, Phil's a good hand reader, so I think, yeah, I think it's good to make bluffs like that. I'll check this back. Gotta call that. I mean, I don't think I beat value. It's possible I beat an 8, but he could be bluffing too. And I just have a good hand. Okay. I appreciate you all being here. Ask questions. I get bored one tabling, so I need you to keep me company. Do we start with a bet? Let's check. I don't know. I'm gonna call this. Let's make him think I'm trying to run him over. No. Didn't give it much thought. If he folded an ace that fast, I'm embarrassed. Yeah. Peel against a min raise. I don't know. Jorge says, I think Phil's going to win this one. I agree. I'll check down jack high and hope for the best. I'm probably going to lose. Okay. Dominated the whole way. So sick. All right, he's giving me a chance to 3-bet now. He's getting that open raise stat up. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to do something weird and overbet the turn to make him not believe me. And then, okay, that's a bad river. I was going to overbet the turn, check river, and hope that he would like not bluff and check back like tens because he's scared of the turn overbet. I don't think he's betting an ace. Is he betting an ace? 10-9, queen 10, king high. I think I need to call. Flushes make some sense, of course. Of course, flushes make sense. He might go bigger with a flush though. I don't know. I'm gonna call. Ace queen. Okay. I thought he'd get a little scared by the overbet. It didn't work. Didn't scare him.
No, I haven't.
My plan was foiled. Algirdus, am I considering doing a 5-card PLO course? I don't actually play 5-card PLO, so my course would be pretty bad, but Run It Once just released, Thomas Emter, I believe it was, released a new 5-card PLO course like a matter of maybe 2 weeks ago. So check that out at runitoncE.com. Oh, Moonlight Master beat me to it. Thanks, Moonlight. Check, bet. I'm gonna fold this one, I guess.
I think I bluffed him off king high or queen high there. It was worth a little.
Scott wants to know why all you big winning poker players always try to sell courses. I don't think we all do, and I can't speak for anybody else. But
Oh, look, I'm up to
for
15%
me,
rising.
I've always loved teaching. I was teaching, like, I wanted to write strategy articles
It's a
from
massive number for me, 15.
after the first year that I played. I wasn't even a professional yet, but I remember I reached out to try to write articles. Nobody wanted them. But then I think 2 years later, I was writing articles for Bluff Magazine, and I was making training videos. Soon after that, I've made poker training videos for, I don't know, 15 years, 16 years, something like that. I've just always taught poker, and I think I will always be somebody who I love to learn something and figure new things out and then teach it. And so I think whatever I get into throughout my life, that'll probably be something I do. Interesting turn. Turn a lot of outs. Bet small. Obviously, I'm not folding. Am I raising? I don't know. I don't think so. Let's see what the river brings. I am unfortunately going to need to bluff this if check 2 because I have 8 high and he can still have a bluff. Now that he bets. How is he bluffing? I don't know. I mean, I'm going to fold. I have 8 high. Nice hand, nice hand. And go for the raise. Take it down. No, I've heard about the keying hand, but I haven't seen it.
Too cute with the set. No, I check raised.
Mark.
I bet 2/3.
I'll check this. This is match 2, Tall Paul. I lost match 1, unfortunately. Alan Pierce says, elite member, best place to start. Run Once Elite is awesome. I'm a little bit biased, but the great thing about Run Once Elite is that you have 2 videos every single day for the past 12 years, all in a library from many of the best pros in the game. And it's not a kind of an A to Z course like From the Ground Up is, like we were talking about. We have a few
Even check was
of
okay.
course foundations. This is PLO. It's not structured in that way. It's just
Check would have been okay there.
a lot of, like, just a ton of great players showing you the way that they think about the game. I'm going to 3-bet this one.
His first 3-bet of the day.
Josh says, hey, Phil. He said in one of your videos, a big turning point for you was being able to link your thought process to solvers. After that, you found studying with them easier. Could you elaborate? Excellent question. Essentially, once I stopped trying to memorize solver strategies. Not that I was exactly trying to memorize it, but kind of. And I just started understanding the fundamentals that I was picking up from solvers, but not like being religiously devoted to following solver strategy. Once that happened, I just use solvers to pull out concepts. I don't look for exact strategies. I pull out concepts, then I use my human brain to apply those concepts in game, making adjustments based on my opponents, et cetera, et cetera.
Fuck. That's why you do the 1/3 with the set, Phil. He's drawing dead. Let him call.
Okay. Let's check back. Let's be crazy. Not very happy about this spot. Not very happy about this spot, yeah. Just can't check down 4 high. It just doesn't feel right. But you can't, if you think you're getting called more than half the time, then you should check there. But I wasn't confident enough to check 4 high. He's not going to fold an ace. I don't think he's going to fold a king very often. So I could bluff him off of better jack highs or queen high. But I'm actually going to go for the check call. Hope that I'm beating a hand like 9-8. And then I have outs, if not, presumably. I'm not beating 9-8 anymore. He's kind of saying he has a 5, I guess. I don't know. I have jack high, so I'm going to fold this one. What, maybe better question, course question is what makes your course better than PLO Mastermind and Upswing? My own course? I can't speak to, I mean, I don't know if it is or not. I did my best to put the knowledge that I have into my courses, and that's kind of all I can say. I think they're good. I tried to make them good.
Could have bet half pot because he could raise me with the jack.
Checking the
He's so
turn.
tight. He couldn't really.
Way too much. I think I'm playing all right. Okay. Gonna go for value on this river. Do I want to check call? No, I want to go for value. Yeah. Skylar asks, does 5 big blinds seem kind of big for a pre-flop open? I'm raising his limp, so it's a little different than if I'm opening from the button. From the button, you can see here I go to 2.5. I don't have a strong feeling about if it's good or not, but it's what I've chosen to do.
Just fold queens like they're a piece of paper, folks. Right?
Okay. Jarrett said you should try to do a YouTube video breakdown of the Keating hand. I think it would be interesting to hear your thoughts, although it was definitely not solver approved. Yeah, I've heard enough people talk about it. I'm very curious to see it. So maybe I will do that. Patty Hellmuth won the last one.
I'd love to get rid of queen
1-0 him, and he is leading the second one.
Or Jack 9 high. Shit, that's why you can bet a little bit, Phil. You might have called that time.
Raise it up here with 6-4. Let's see what you show down. A weaker jack. Standard-ish. We'll go ahead and bet this flop. Take it from there.
He might have called that time.
How do you decide whether shot taking is worth it? I.e., how do you weigh up the, let's assume, higher EV versus psychological discomfort of swings, possibility of tilt? I think you really have to know yourself. I think for 7 out of 10 people, I would not recommend shot taking. I'm just kind of gradually with, with proven track record at the lower stakes and a bigger bankroll once it reaches a certain amount. I did a lot of shot taking in my career, so I'm not saying
Suspect I wasn't.
you're not allowed to do it, certainly. But I think how do I say this? Yeah, like for me, I was always able to, if I lost in a shot take, truly step back down and focus. Okay. 3-4, 6-3, 6-4. I don't think he's bluffing ace-3, ace-4. Could he have called with just like jack 10 of clubs? Yeah, except that I have 10 of clubs, so that'd be impossible. 9? How does he have a 9? Because I feel like this is more of a 9 than anything else. Why am I suspicious? I shouldn't be suspicious. Why am I suspicious? No, I shouldn't.
10, I think. Just guessing.
Nice hand, Phil.
Fold.
So I kind of forget where I left off, but basically, for me, it was motivating to shot take. Like I really wanted to challenge myself in those bigger games, and it was really exciting for me. And so I would grind really hard at the lower stakes to build up enough for another shot. And then when my shots didn't go well, which they often did not, I just stepped back down and used it as motivation to try again. Whereas a lot of people will chase their losses and or like
gotta stay alert in these matches. You get tired, you make mistakes.
So small compared to
not good. Gotta stay alert.
So
under blankets, I'm starting to finally heat up, which means I'm not sick.
You got to know yourself and what you are and are not.
A lot of trouble.
2 barrels, by the way.
The 20th.
Unless I hit a 10 or 9. Okay.
I fold for any bet here.
What you are and are not capable of when you step down or step up and then back down. The reason it's 2 barrel is there are a ton of hands that call the turn because there are so many single card open enders, pair plus open enders, just dry pairs. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. So betting a hand like mine on the turn to give up on river, I think, is losing money, probably. Do I call this? I don't even know. I don't feel good about it.
Yes, I'll take that. I was a little worried maybe he turned to jack.
NK says, best of luck, Phil. Thank you. Any general advice for timing tells heads up and how to exploit them? I guess we're going broke with this one.
Here comes the re-raise.
The thing about, like, if you have a timing tell on someone, then, for example, you know that when they bet fast, they're stronger. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is the exploits are somewhat obvious, right? If you think their hand is weak based on a tell, then you don't fold and you bluff raise and or call down. If you think their hand is strong, you get out of the way. So it's kind of it's hard to give more specific or like even just generalized advice. I'm sorry if that's not the answer you were hoping for. I mean, it's probably not. I'm sorry. David asked, PG, if you had 30 seconds to coach a no-limit player, deuce to 7 single draw, what heuristics or basic strategy would you convey if the person only knew the rules and never played?
Oh, Philadelphia.
I guess I can't
That's
tell them
right.
pre-flop ranges. So, you know,
Both in Philly, as a matter of fact.
play strong one-card draws. Pat jacks are trouble hands, especially from early position. Get out of the way.
Sit up
The
straight.
player who's
stay
drawing
alert.
has an advantage in that they also have implied odds. When you're the player drawing against a player who is Pat, make your sizing very big. Bluff when you hit. Well, like if you're unsure of what, like how much to bluff, just count the number of betting outs for value versus the number of bluff outs that you can hit, and then you have your bluff ratio. I'm probably out of time. Check. I'm gonna fold. Wallabeezy asks, what's your best guess at hourly rate and your average live 2-5 PLO gimmick casino, assuming no straddles? I'm assuming you mean for me. I don't know, 20 big blinds an hour? I don't really know. That's total guess. Not folding a pair just yet. Now I am. I'll check back. Yeah, this is interesting. 7x, 6x. I feel like, I mean, he bet a jack bigger, could bet a 7 bigger. I don't know if he does this with 10. I mean, there are not a lot of hands I beat. I'm gonna lay it down. Gonna check call. We hit 2 pair, but he's potting. So if he bets, like we might be beating value now, but if he fires a big bet on river and we don't improve, we're no longer beating value bets, especially on the 5. Interesting card. Okay, we win against ace 6, so we beat a turn value bet. Another donk on the ace high boards. They certainly confuse me. I'll give him that. I'm not going to fold a pair to a half pot donk, but obviously I'm only beating bluffs, and I'll check back on the turn. Okay, we got there maybe. Normal Active Boy says, of all the poker content creators on YouTube, for me, you're the most pleasant to listen to. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'll fold this one.
Island girl. Na, 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 na.
Yeah, staking people is...
Island girl.
I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know, the first time a lot of people invest in like anything, whether it's like the first time they invest in crypto, the first time they invest in a business, like if you're not a professional backer, the first time you do it like, or if you're just doing it casually, like you're going to make a lot of mistakes, I think. So I would not advise it unless it's like a line of work you want to go into. Daniel, I am in Pennsylvania. I'm in Philly right now, both Phils. And I'm going to check this back. So I'm going to see what he has. Okay. Okay. It's very hard to play without any hit on the boards. I think I haven't seen a single pair hit. I've made a couple hands. I made a couple hands. I haven't made many, but I've made my fair share.
The basketball game was okay to the guys in the chat. At least I got to see Steph dunk it. And he said hello to me. That's nice. Warriors players are my friends. And Draymond almost played with us last night.
I'm very curious. Don't tell me. I'm not watching stream. I'm just curious, like when he decides to min raise versus when he decides to limp. I'm curious how he's picking hands, because I've seen similar hands, I feel like, in both ranges. Johnny Elliott says, get BetRivers for Illinois, please. I would love to. And we are doing our best to, as quickly as we can, get into more states. Laszlo, yeah, 40 buy-ins is like, it's a little bit low, but 7 big blinds per 100 is pretty good win rate, and as long as you're willing to step down. Laszlo asked for 6 max cash game, how many buy-ins would you advise for limit when you have 7 big blind per 100 win rate? I, for some reason, do I believe him? Yeah, I don't know. I do. Why fold there? What hand are you looking at? Okay. If you're streaming for views, then it's a call with pair of fives. If you're really trying to play for money against him, don't stream this. I mean, I'm streaming to promote BetRivers. I want to play good poker. I always want to try to play good poker. Guess I'll bet the turn, and I mean, my decision gets easy on the river. It's kind of tough on a brick river. What to do. God, it's so tempting. Oh no, here comes a tilt 4-bet. I thought it was a tilt open, so I 3-bet, and now it's a tilt 4-bet. I'm not going to go with the 5-bet bluff, hoping it's a tilt 4-bet. Okay. He didn't tilt 4-bet. Good. It was going to work that time, Phil. Okay, we'll call. Big Luch thinks I'm getting outplayed. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I think he probably. I think it's going to be tough. It's not going to play out very well for me. So I guess I fold. All right. Going broke with tens.
He's 3-betting me too often right now.
Going broke with tens. Actually, I might
This
just
is
call a 3-bet. I don't know. I'm going to check this one back. If there's ever a check back hand on this board, it feels like tens is the one. I'm going to check it back again. Not loving this. Since I feel like maybe he could, like, I think I lose, but I beat the board, and like, you're never supposed to be able to fold a hand that beats the board here. That would be insane. So I'm not going to, but I think I lose. I don't know. Maybe I could.
I think he had king high. Tens. Tens.
I'll fold this one.
Jack card for me. Now I needed it.
Okay, I'll fold this one too. Cash says, Phil, who are some individuals have been making the most money? Okay, message retracted. Cool.
Okay, if he's going to be 3-betting me light, I'm not raising again for an hour. Till I have it.
Blue says, after watching maybe 6 courses, I feel like
that
there
could
is
be
a
3
lack of
minutes.
instruction on how to implement a lot of the turn and river range construction, and then just focus on the concepts themselves. Only go so far. I think I don't know what course you're speaking about, and who knows? I don't have, so I can't agree or disagree. What I would say is, I don't think you can really teach somebody exact turn and river implementation, because I don't even think you can learn it. It's just too complex. And so it kind of has to be concepts. It kind of has to be concepts. Nice hand.
What did he have that time? Could be a queen, obviously. 10-8. Oh, wow, he flubbed a big hand. Good discipline on his
That's my
part.
thing, at
He
least.
bet
Like,
the flop,
when I study poker,
checked
not
the
teach poker,
turn,
even just study poker,
and he made
I don't
eights. He
look
flopped
for
a straight open ender and a
specific-
flush draw. Oh my god, I could have ended the match by moving there.
Play specific hands on turns and rivers and play my range, but it's not to actually implement that strategy. It's pull concepts from it, and then I can use those concepts in game.
No worry at all.
So that's how I like to learn and how I like to teach. Tougher to go for value on this river. Tougher to go for. I think I still can. PG, if you were playing a 6 max Badoogie PKO, what would be bottom of your RFI range under the gun and on the button? I'm gonna pass. I don't know. Yeah, kind of smelled that. I don't know if it's. I mean, I think it's value. I'm getting 2-1, but I think it's like 80% value, which I don't have.
Shit.
I don't know.
Min raise, Phil. You flopped the nuts. Min raise.
Nice hand.
Min raise, Philly. Come on. Give him a chance to move in light. Min raise.
I am getting run over. I like that answer. Too weak, I think, to bluff here. Kevin, no, BetRivers Poker is right now just available in Pennsylvania, but we will be looking to get into more states. However, New York does not have legal regulated online poker. So we will not be going there until it does. I think I'll go bet check bet. Not the best river, but
Oh, I want to go with Jack Eye so bad.
EKW says, what is the best way to maximize a Rio Essential membership for 50 or 100 NL6 max no limit? Keep running into too much solver content that makes me zone out. Okay, so it's what I would say is obviously there's a lot of solver content there, and some people that's how they like to learn. Others like to learn from the format that's become known as play and explain. Back in my day, we didn't have a name for it. I called them live play videos, but it's excuse me. You can find coaches who like the way that they teach resonates with you. So watch videos that are not solver videos, and there are plenty that are not solver videos, and see which coaches you enjoy learning from, and then continue to consume their content. I mean, I have such good pot odds. I probably lose, but with 4-1, let's just see it. Cool. PH seems to be check raising with low middle pairs to your flop c-bets occasionally. Do you feel it's polar errors protecting his equity with I am not, I wouldn't say qualified to, I'm not exactly qualified to know what's optimal heads up no limit strategy. I think it's a thing. And we've seen a few showdowns and he's shown hands like that when we have. And so it feels like he's overdoing it, but I don't really know because I don't get to see his hand all the time. And we haven't even played that many hands overall. But yeah, it feels like he's overdoing it to me. This is interesting sizing. We'll call once again. It's kind of feeling like a 6, which is bad news on the 6 river. Like, I feel like when you use that turn sizing, it's either a queen or a 6 or a bluff. It's not the 8. I lose to the queen, I lose to the 6, I beat the bluff. I don't feel good about it. Brian Dennis saying, Phil, I played heads up cash flowing against, well, he's not a fish, who never 3-bets pre, raised a 4-big blind pre in position until he adjusts. It's not the worst idea to raise bigger. It's a pretty good suggestion, thank you. But I don't know, he is 3-betting some, and I actually think that he would 3-bet more against larger sizing. And so I don't know. I don't feel strongly that it's bad or good. It's certainly fine, but I'm going to stick with this just because. Big Luch says, is it really possible to set a true range strategy in heads up? I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. So could you clarify the question? I'd be happy to answer. Okay. Check calls. Now he's betting. A little suspicious. I probably shouldn't be, but I'm a little suspicious.
He's got a call eventually.
Just the nuts.
Ace high.
Just at the time that Tall Paul says, do you ever not believe him? Did not believe him there, and I was wrong. I get what I deserve. Devin says, Phil, maybe a year ago you made a video about a heads-up battle between the two guys you thought were the best at heads-up PLO. Results conclusive? I don't know. I think they're playing again. I don't know I don't know what the results have been. I could maybe call that. I mean, so I don't know. I know that last time they played, it was like they ended up pretty close. I don't know who was ahead, but it certainly did. Like seeing the results the first time didn't make me feel like
Hasn't
didn't
always
make me
paid
feel
off,
like one of them was
but
clearly, came out on top. I'll check this back, see if I can induce some bluffs. Let me get the pot. I mean, I wanted to induce some bluffs now. I was hoping he would bet like third pot and then I beat some value too, but I'm going to call and hope for the best. I don't feel good about it though. Yeah. It's like spots like these where I feel like I have too good of a hand to trust my read. Those are the spots that tend to get me in the most trouble in poker.
Jack kicker.
Blue says thanks. And of course, they're just from various sites. I get that you're supposed to bet more better equity boards in turn of balls. Hold on. But IP, like realizing draws, realizing equity, it's so confusing. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of concepts to factor in, and not every coach teaches them in a. So I think one of the things that I maybe could have value about this. One of the things that I would urge you to consider is that there are a lot of people who
He didn't put me on the
teach
king.
poker.
I don't blame him.
Well, not even necessarily
And
teach. I don't know how many course creators are like this, but a lot of people who like talk about poker publicly, like social media, like in free content, who just say a lot of words that makes it sound like they're like advanced, and they think they are. They're not trying to fool you, but they just say a lot of fancy words, and there's not real substance behind it. You'll notice that when I talk through strategy,
Stay
a
alert,
lot of times
Phil.
I'm using
No
pretty
mistakes.
simple
Play great.
language. And I think that being able to use simple language, or like there's the
You don't get much
adage,
value
you
unless
can't
he actually
explain
has
it
a big hand.
to a 5-year-old, then you don't understand it.
It's hard
And
to
that's
slow
kind of
play
what I
this.
believe is the
Just
case
go
here
ahead and
in a lot of situations.
raise it. He has a queen. Maybe I win the match.
Face the check raise. We're not going to fold a 6 on Queen
Ace
6
6.
rainbow.
Maybe I win the match.
But we're not thrilled. As this pot's about to be 800, our stack's about to be 1900. And it could get real. Yeah, Brent, we have an agreement not to have each other's streams up. Did not want to see a bet. Ace, queen, king, queen, both make sense. I guess I'm going to call. I don't feel good about it. The 5 river is unfortunate. He's going to follow through on some bluffs here. But I think not enough. I mean, it looks like I have a queen pretty often. Yeah, I don't feel good about this. I should have just folded the turn, probably. Should have just folded the turn. Yeah. Yeah. Nice hand.
Yeah, it was nice. Maybe should have bet 800.
Nice hand. All right, it's looking like we're going to
Maybe should have bet 800.
You never
there.
know.
I don't know. I figured he
could,
put all that
we could
money
go
in. I
here.
figure he's calling with a 6.
$1,400 in a dream. Christian, very kind words. Thank you. Thanks for being here to watch.
800 was a better number, I think.
If I can put on a better show than this. I guess we'll go to 200 now with these stacks. 250 is kind of big. Yeah, we can't top off. We're playing freeze outs. And Hellmuth is continuing with his heads up
He could have gotten
Incredible
cheap.
heads-up
And
record.
could have gotten like tricky and re-raised, but then he calls with Queen 8 suited or some bullshit. You know?
We'll check this one. It's not the worst to raise. I mean, like any hand's not the worst to raise. Oh, what bluffs I thought he had with the 9-8 when he had 9-8? He can check. He can check call like it was 9-9-6 flop. He can just call with Jack 10 with the back door, or I mean, basically hand like Queen 7, stuff like that. Ace King would not have worked to raise pre, and also why is he checking that
Wimpy
down?
checked Ace King back.
Read me for a very weak hand or a very strong hand, I suppose.
Let me focus on this. We'll talk later.
Check. 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 They were talking about Very Sweet and Am So Good, who were playing a heads-up match. They might be again right now. They were playing a heads-up match, and I made a video about it on YouTube about a year ago or a little more. I guess I'm betting. Well, am I? No, I don't. I feel like he's a little bit too, and like he's calling any pair in this spot. So betting is just to get him to fold king high,
Yeah, should be
which
good.
he's
I
not
think
going
he
to
had
fold king
queen.
high on the turn.
Let's take a look.
King
Queen
jack.
high.
I really want to
Yep.
play this.
Just look like it.
Let's see a flop, and I mean this is not how you're supposed to play it, but I don't know. I don't know if you can hear the loud noise going on in my hotel room, but apologies if so. Hey, Moonlight Master posted the Am So Good, Very Sweet video 5 minutes ago from the time you're watching me talk about it. Uh, 20 big blind poker. Not my favorite, but the fact that like it goes limp check a lot, we can still play multiple streets, so it still is the kind of poker I enjoy. I'm not going to bluff queen high. Have I ever worried that playing poker is an addiction to some degree? I do not mean losing, but itching to play, playing unhealthily long sessions, neglecting other things in life, etc. I think it absolutely can be, and I also think it's not binary. Like you don't need to either be like you're either a professional or you're an addict. I think a lot of pro poker players can get sucked into playing longer sessions, can get sucked into kind of chasing variance, chasing losses. I think that most
You had me trapped
professional
that
poker
time.
players I know have some
Deep trap there.
degree of
I mean, I
gambler,
fluffed a flush draw.
like gambling tendencies in them.
Yikes.
Almost all. So it's yeah, I think it's not either or. So yeah, and I mean it's designed to be addictive. Like people didn't design poker to be addictive, but gambling in general is addictive, right? Oof. 375, and I have ace 9.
You know, with the tens,
you just shove?
queens, I have to
Because
take
he
a
has like
chance.
aces or kings or a bluff.
He's putting in with an ace
Queens.
a lot of times. And a chance to call 200 and hit a king.
Not feeling good about this, but I mean, I can't just. I don't want to let him see a flop and then. I don't want to let him see a flop and then, hit his whatever queen 7 offsuit. Okay, it's just queens. But like, it's not the end of the world to get it in with 1 overcard and hit your 1 overcard. Maybe make a good clip of Hellmuth cursing. But yeah, with so little behind, if I think he's bluffing enough, then
Folks, I can't complain because earlier I had ace jack against his ace queen. But he knew. He didn't want to go with ace 9. He's like, Hellmuth has it. He only has 21 big blinds.
Really
and he
cool.
re-raised him. He's not re-raising me with ace 7.
Awesome. I plan on studying and playing.
Like everybody else does.
Until I can at least beat 50 analysis, it would be better than my current job.
It would have been nice if that held up.
To do it.
2 matches.
Yeah, like I oftentimes will shy away from encouraging people to certainly to quit their job and focus on poker until they've built up a track record. But what you're talking about is
I thought once I got to the turn before the flop, I'm like, he might just hit an ace because I
think that's awesome.
I got lucky against him.
And the fact that you love it's really important.
And then
some people
once I got to the turn, I'm like, okay, I think I win this one.
Or like they have a friend that's doing it, and their friend says, why don't you try this? It's going to be easy. So it sounds like your head's in the right place. Do I want to raise? I think so. No. Changed my mind. You tricked me. Yeah. I wish I had raised. This looks like an 8 to me. Oh, wow. I got super owned. I think he might have read into my timing on the flop. Okay, we get the donk bet. I call. Wabao says, Phil, what duration would you recommend for an efficient study session in terms of hours? Great question. This is an interesting one. The straight flush draw. I don't think I'm getting much value though. And now I'm just hoping I beat a 6 somehow. Nope. Queen 4.
Oh yeah.
It really depends. I think that it's really important to follow your curiosity.
Straight draw.
So I think that if you're making yourself grind out these long study sessions and you're super bored and you hate it, you're not going to retain that much information. It's not, and you're not going to. Probably most people. Some people can't. You're not going to sustain that for very long if you're most people. And so what I like to do for me, and what I recommend for a lot of people, not all people, I think people are different. And as I've worked with more people and coached more people, I've gotten kind of more of what am I trying to say? I've learned more and more that people are quite different. And I'm going to go for 2 barrels here. Yeah. Am I going to go for 3 barrels? Maybe. And I think what I do, and for most people, what I recommend for most people is, have some kind of base study habits that you kind of set out to do and hold yourself accountable for, but then also after that, kind of just following your curiosity. I prefer to make a lot of my study sessions ones that I'm just like, I'm really curious to study this opponent. So I just go deep on breaking down this opponent and figuring them out. Whereas other ones, I'll do, I guess I'll peel here. I'm not happy about it. I would probably fold 8-7 of diamonds, but queen 8, like I can beat some, like he might just have like 10 of clubs, 8. I could check. And I'm going to check again. And he has 7s. So 8-7 would have been a very bad fold because he would have had 1 out. But yeah, a lot of my best studying comes from like I'm curious to break down this opponent, or I played this hand that's really interesting. Oh wow, this turn strategy is weird. I want to take a deeper dive there, and so on and so forth. Okay.
Yeah, he's raising the button a lot, so that's why this time with the ace-3, I just went ahead and re-raised him. Since he knows I have it, he can fold a lot of hands there.
Yeah, very sweet as a monster. Okay. Let's bet 7. I'm gonna bet the turn. I don't know if I'm gonna bet the river. I think I'm supposed to. I lose to every 7. Well, not every 7, some of the 7s. I lose to flushes. I beat an ace, I beat a 9. The problem is he has to call me too. So like I feel like he's folding a 9. He might
You
even
got lucky
fold an
there.
ace here because he hasn't caught me triple barrel bluffing, I think. So I don't feel amazing about that that river bluff. I kind of feel like the limp re-raise is coming. Not for value. I feel like the bluff limp re-raise is coming, but ace 9 offsuit's not the hand I want to have in that scenario. Okay, I mean call and figure it out on the river. Don't think he's value betting worse. So I need him to have a 4 or a 5 or
I
a
bet
draw
super quick to try to look weak.
of some other kind of spades, hearts, a lot of.
Let's see.
I'm going with my read this time. I think he has it, so I'm gonna stop calling with good hands because they're good. Interesting. I'm going to go for thin value here. It's kind of a nitty play to make the hand easier to play, but I think he's going to call with ace high and jack 10 and stuff like that. 10 high. Jake Ford says, hey Phil, can you talk about the social aspect of being a poker pro? Okay. Now he's mad. This is his biggest raise yet, pre. Especially becoming a professional at a younger age, did the more individual profession isolate you more socially? I would have isolated myself socially anyway, so it's hard for me to say. I think, but a lot of people have experienced that, yeah. I guess I fold. Check this back. Interesting. I'm going to check again. And if check 2, I think I check back. Now he's saying he has an ace or a king or a 7. I don't think he's bluffing. I don't think he's bluffing. He might have a queen. So maybe I could have chopped with value, but I just don't think he's bluffing there. 8-7 will raise up. I feel like he really wants to 3-bet me, which would be unfortunate with this hand because like even his bluffs are ahead of 8 high usually. Bet flop. And I think I need to keep betting. Just like too many outs against mid pair to check fold. And he's just like against third pot, he's calling every ace on the flop. He's calling a bunch of king highs and jack highs and backdoor stuff. So I think there are a lot of hands I can make fold. And now, do I go for it? I'm not loving how slowly he called the turn. Not loving how slowly he called the turn. But this is so embarrassing when I check and I lose to Jack 5 of diamonds, or 10-5 of diamonds. I guess Jack got there. But I'm giving up. Damn.
Should raise the turn there.
He might have called that. Nice hand. He was thinking of, well, he was thinking of doing something. I could bet. I'm gonna, what am I gonna do? I guess I'll check. And now, bet, check, bet, and hope for the best. The problem is he's checking any king. It actually gets a little bit thin here, the way that he plays, because he just checks so much on the river. But I don't know.
Nice hand, Phil.
Called with Ace-7, it's a very good calling hand. John Hunter, I love you all too. I appreciate everybody being here to watch the stream. As a thank you, I'm going to check raise 3 high. How much am I up / down? This is interesting. I mean, I'm not going to fold. I'm going to call and take it from there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. God, there are a lot of hands that I don't feel great about this, but I'm going to go for it. Let's jam. Let's jam. Make a very good clip if he calls.
Christ.
So I think he's going to be tempted by that.
Up to pair.
But like, I want to wrap a flush here.
Phil.
And I think if he has a king, a 2/3 pot bet's not going to get it done. So
come on, Phil.
5. I guess
That
I'll start
was a
by
little
betting.
unlucky
Kinda
there.
Whatever. But I can turn a lot of gut shots. Check the deuce. Moonlight Master is on it. I didn't even see the message, but you deleted it in 1 second. You a man? I'm not gonna value it a 5. Check 10, sure.
Played that hand bad. He might have had it 6-7 there,
appeal.
folks. He might have just moved in. Light. You know, 6-7. It's nothing except an open ender.
It's interesting. He definitely is like his c-bet frequency. Actually, I guess his c-bet frequency is high in limp pots too, or c-bet frequency. But it just feels like whenever he makes one of his random raises pre-flop, he's betting flop. Opinion on if it's still possible to run up a small deposit online and make it to high stakes? I think it's still possible. It's certainly harder, and part of the reason it's harder is because there's no like high stakes online in a lot of places anymore. But the running it up from low stakes is still very possible. Yeah. Ace queen high. Let's just see. He's making it cheap. Okay. Second time in the match that he is raised to 2.5 like me. I guess I go for the check raise. No, let's just bet. Let's just bet. He's made me regret going for check raises many times. Many a time. I don't think he's going to call an overbet. Or I mean, he might, but I think he's going to call that more. Okay.
God damn it. Oh, what the fuck was that? You're against him. He beat my queens. All right, Phil. This is why you're Hellmuth, though. Some patience. You could put up with all of it, and all of a sudden destroy it.
Rampage, good to see you. First of all, second of all, I'm short stacked because this is a freeze out.
That's
I have
what you
to.
do, Philly. And all of a sudden, all the chips.
I have to not top up. Otherwise, you know, I would love to play. I love deep stack poker. Deep stack heads up poker. I don't even care what the game is. 2 cards fine.
Oh, okay.
We thought about the 3-bet, I think. Maybe not. Check this back.
You had a 5 or a strong dead.
I could go for 1 street here. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good. I don't like these going a little bigger, but I'm not going to full way. Okay. Do I start trusting myself? Do I actually not like it? 6 makes sense. 8 makes sense. It all makes sense. I've caught him a few times with a small bet, so maybe he would not go for a small bet bluff again. But also, I just don't think he needs to bluff with a lot of hands here. Could he have a 7? I don't think so. I'm going to fold. Flop a flush. Get the quick bet. I'm going to go for the turn, jack raise. Not the turn I wanted. And he min bets. What do I do now? What do I do now? I guess I raise and bet river. Nice hand. Now you guys are seeing the deuce 3 hand right now. Some things work. I'm going to go for the check raise here and then check the turn. I mean, it's a weird play. It's a very weird play. Do I want to do that? I just feel like He does enough stuff like this that that I want to have hands that can call the 3-bet. Yeah, if Hellmuth calls, that was a game over for sure. So we'll call here. I'm going to do this. Right? Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. Snap call by. Ooh, he had the hand. He actually had it. I kind of didn't think he had me beat on any street, but I was wrong. Obviously, my equity is just fine. Nice hand. Is door dashing to buy put options a good strat? I don't know. Probably. Check call king high. RCE thinks he's going to get me to value on myself or bluff it off, and that's how I'll win. Yeah, that's very likely. I mean, Hellmuth plays a style where I'm the one that does most of the betting, and so, yeah, that is reasonably likely how I'll win. Interesting. I'm not going to bluff raise here because, like, I think this is a board on which he traps a lot on the turn, with, like, ace queen and stuff. I don't know. I'm curious enough, and the sizing is small enough that I want to see it. Oh, I didn't think he would bet a 4. I did not think he would bet a 4, so that's ownage.
God damn. Well, queens and 5s. I flopped 2 pair twice.
I mean, I certainly thought he could bet a queen. I
suspect he had big hands both times as well. He showed me one. Top pair with a flush draw.
When you see,
I just had top and bottom.
When you see a showdown like that,
and he deuce on their
it
turn,
lets you
and
know
we're
that
getting
they're
a lot
like,
of
if
money.
their value range is wider than you think, then they need a lot more bluffs to make it worthwhile to call. So that, like, sometimes you say, like, you know, I'm going to call, and then you see their hand, and some people will be like, oh, it was a bad call, because you see one hand. But if that hand is in the range that you thought they would have, then it doesn't mean it's a bad call. When their hand is outside of the range that you thought they could have, as a bluff, then it means, you know, it was good. If it's outside of the range that you thought they could have, and it's value, then that's bad. Here, I went for the raise for some reason, and I am not going to bet 10-8-6. I'm not going to bet the 6 turn. But he is. And I'm going to fold.
We should have bet the flop there. I flopped the open ender. I didn't want to get check raised all in though.
Says, can you make a new heads up challenge and invite our favorite boy Isildur? When I did the first challenge, I reached out to him and asked. He thought about it a lot, but I don't think he was playing much at that point. A lot of draws, but he might just make a read and fold a pair, or he might just not have a pair and fold right away. Oh, okay, Moonlight's not sharing. He's deleting Hellmuth's cards because we agreed not to watch each other's streams. Thank you. I'm going to bluff here. I have no outs, but I have 2 future blockers, which I think is relevant. Nice hand. Okay. how much is rakeback? Rakeback is a ton. With Rakeback Revolution on BetRivers Poker, we are attempting to give back all of the rake that we collect. You can read more about it on the website. I guess I'm folding this hand. It's just too many tainted outs. I mean, at this, I'm happy to have a chance here. Happy to still be in it with half a stack after the way that it has gone. Nathan asked what I enjoy most about coaching. I mean, in part, it's what I enjoy about teaching, which is just like seeing somebody. I mean, I guess coaching and teaching are very similar, but I've been doing new coaching thing, so I assume that's what you're referring to. It's great. It's just awesome to see somebody, like to see something that you share land with somebody. And like, just like anything, when you're working, like now that I'm working more closely with people, it's so much easier to see the impact on their lives. And so when something we've talked about or something that I've shared lands with them, and then they go implement it and then come back and share how it's gone, and that things are going really well. I don't know. It's like the feeling of making a contribution in that way to somebody else's life is really rewarding, obviously. Dan C. Good to see you, first of all. Second of all, he says, Phil, you just getting rest here or what?
What a
I
strange
don't know.
hand.
Do you mean like, am I just
Never
relaxing?
got a bed and folded
I
the
mean,
river.
kinda.
People at home are probably like, I
I
can't
like
believe
talking to
this.
you all.
Hands Phil folds. And so quickly.
Brent, you never saw me again? I don't remember that. Shared a dinner table with you at WSOP Indian restaurant. She just came in and asked if it was the guy we went to. She's not a poker player. Oh, so you did see me? Okay, you met. I thought it sounded like I like sat with you for lunch and then ran out on the bill and you never saw me again. She's like, I don't remember that happening. But you're very welcome. EKW Hellmuth plays a style where he gets there much too often. I agree. It's a very good style, though. Jack 9, okay. Yeah, like, so that's an example of, like, the type of hand that somebody else might value bet, but Hellmuth likes to play, like, trap, check, call, and induce bluffs. And, I mean, it works well. But it makes my like river strategy in those spots weird, kind of. He goes for the min raise. I got the deuce 3 again, my lucky hand. I'm gonna call. And now it's interesting if he bets, because like he might even just have a 3. He's going small. Got to raise the full house. So like for me to be beat here, he would need to have 5-3 or have checked back a set. I mean, I know that you probably know that, but I'm just thinking through it. If I face that. (5-3) doesn't make a ton of sense. Check back set doesn't make sense because why would he min raise the turn? Like I'm gonna call. Like he doesn't bluff like this very often, but at the same time, like what? How does he have me beat? I just don't know what hand has me beat. I guess I'll find out. 5-5. Yeah, I just didn't think he would min raise the turn and give me the option to jam straights. I guess. I mean, I'm wrong.
Yep, he had deuce 3. He was drawn dead the whole way. Wow, what an unlucky card for him.
I mean, I'm fine with that play too. I'm not thrilled. It's not how I like to lose my money.
What an
calling it
unlucky
off
card
on the
for
spot. I
Phil.
don't think he's blocking that much, but I just couldn't put him on a hand.
I'd like to say
So,
all
like,
skill.
Yeah, I'm not surprised he checked back the flop. I'm a little bit surprised about the turn min raise.
98. All right. 2-1.
All right, we're ahead. And 2 pairs going to do it. We've lived to fight another day.
Okay, keep your eye on the ball. He has 6 big blinds, Philly.
Brent says another heads-up match. D-Neg versus Poke style would be fun. I'm sure no one ever commits to that kind of time, though. Yeah, I love matches like that where it just goes on for a really long time. Get trapped by the 10-10, and that's all she wrote. Good game, Phil.
Okay.
Let's see. I mean, I might check out some tournaments.
I will say, when you limp in with 5s, great things can happen. And I checked back the flop, too, so min raise to turn. But unlucky card for him. I also had to min bet the river, so get ready.
Okay, 1 second.